hippie hut down a country road. There's a girl named Jonesy with a carefree soul. She's got chickens in the yard, running wild and free, and she's rolling up her life in a sweet green dream. Jonesy in her hippie hut, life's a breeze, smoking that good stuff, feeling so at ease, with the chickens clucking and the sun so bright. Jonesy's living in her own kind of life. She wakes up with the sunrise, no shoes on her feet, dancing in the garden to a reggae beat. She's got a peace sign hanging on her front porch swing, and a big old smile for everything. Jonesy in her hippie hut, life's a breeze, smoking that good stuff, feeling so at ease, with the chickens clucking and the sun so bright. Jonesy's living in her own kind of life. She's got no worries, just the earth and sky, living her life, no need to try, with a heart full of love and a head full of dreams. Jonesy's riding on life's sweet stream. Jonesy in her hippie hut, life's a breeze, smoking that good stuff, feeling so at ease, with the chickens clucking and the sun so bright. Jonesy's living in her own kind of life. So if you ever feel lost or caught in a bind, just think of Jones and you'll surely find that the simple life's the one that's truly free, in a hippie hut just like Jones, and you see. So if you ever feel lost or caught in a bind, just think of Jones and you'll surely find that the simple life's the one that's truly free, in a hippie hut just like Jones, and you see.
Hello. Hey guys. I am so glad to see y'all on this fan freaking tastic hump day. Paging Funya Nunya. Funya Nunya. You've got a page. BTM, I found Deets. She's right here, boo. She's right here. Look, she's on the screen. I got you, man. I got you. Oh, I'm so glad to see y'all. Oh, man. Let's see who's all in here. Oh, my goodness. We got A-Mac, Talkie Smack, Mac Attack, Grandma Sherry. Yes, please make sure you hit that like. Hey, Earth. I'm glad to see you. Hey, Cash, Queen Bella, Lindsay Lee, Present. Hey, Mama. Catherine, hello. Granny Bassmaster, hey, love. I hope you're well. Flower Nana, thank you. I like my title too. You know, we're the HOA of this community, so it is what it is. Oh my God. Hey, Andy Rose. Tess, reporting for the Hose on Antidepressants meeting. Here. Present. Hey, Rose. Yeah. Oh, Tess, I just adore you. Hey, yep. Texas girl, Okie. OG London girl, it's special bedtime. Hello, 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 hello. Anybody I missed, I'm sorry, but hello and welcome in. Hey, Miss Leah. Hey, Diane. Horizontal. Hey, 13th hour. Hey, love. Thanks for being here, KCG. I know. I downloaded it. I'm going to use it as the outro because I also have another song. Oh my God. Hey, One Shot. Where you at? I see somebody telling you, hey, where you at, boo? There you are. Hey, babe, glad to see you. What y'all been doing? I have been in a whirlwind. Hey, Brantley. Hey, Bo. What's up, man? Hey, Misty Day. I've been in a whirlwind of fucking trials. Hey, Cash, look at you. Donkeys, donkeys on antidepressants. Thank you for renewing, Cash. I appreciate that. Oh no, Aries. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hey, Duchess. I hope it gets better for you, Aries. Hey, Amethyst. Listen, I understand some of the topics might be a little touchy or sensitive to some of y'all because you may still support these other people. So just know I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't partake in the conversation. Like, I ain't about that life. I don't want, that to cause issues for anybody else. Um, I've been in a whirlwind, hey Bridget, of trials. I know you're past your bedtime too, girl. I mean, I've been trying to jump from Sarah Boone to, oh my God, Sarah Boone's was so boring. I did hear her testimony yesterday, but I was listening to it while I was working, so I wasn't fully present for it. So I went back and listened to it again this morning. She's a damn loon. Like, how y'all go from being happy, kiki, ha ha, and he's in the suitcase, and now you're afraid for your life? Like, miss me with it. Quentin Simon, that trial, been all up in that trial now. That one, they rested today, both the defense and the state, they rested. Tomorrow they will get the jury going and get them, what's that called? Deliberating. I ain't even gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous. I think the Sarah is boring, mom. I can't. It's such a struggle. I thought it was going to be way better than this. Hey, perfectly imperfect. What's a spoiler alert? Did you spoil something? Let me go back up here. Oh, you ain't spoil nothing. Um, oh, I spoiled. Hey, spoiler alert. Quentin Simon, the trial, they've rested. Now we're going into deliberations tomorrow. Yee yee. Okay, the state, I think, did a fantastic freaking job. Oh, shit. Well, you're good. You're good. The state did a fantastic job. Hey, Deetsy. But I'm a little nervous. She's probably just up here. She's getting ready. I'm a little nervous because I feel like the circumstantial evidence is there for the jury to do and make the right decision. But will they make the right decision? Because you know what they didn't prove? They did not prove that Leilani is the one who actually killed Quentin Simon. Um, they got her, at the dumpster throwing the trash away, which one bag, I don't know if it was one bag, two bags, she claims two. One of them had Quentin in it regardless. So I could see um abuse of a corpse or hiding the body or concealing a body. I can see those going through. I'm not so sure the malice is going to go through, the malice murder. I hope it does. But I was telling Deets earlier in her live stream, like, listen here. Oh, hold on. Tony just texted me.
I'll fill in while she's doing that text. I do think that it's gonna go through. I do. They presented quite a bit. I do understand the fear that Malice might not, be found guilty on. We just gotta wait and see what the jury instructions are tomorrow. um,
Yeah.
to see how they lay it out,
I was I was telling Deets in her live today, like Casey Anthony and OJ Simpson, those juries just ruined it for me. I'm so nervous.
There's a fear. There's a legitimate fear there.
Hey, Chasen. Hey, Truth Seeker. I'm so glad to see y'all. Melissa Jade. Look at all y'all coming in. Jennifer, hello.
Ooh,
Um,
hey guys.
so that case, I mean, the jury has what they need, but will they do what they should do? I don't know. Um, but I also have been okay. Delphi is so fucking heartbreaking. I know there's not a trial to actually watch,
It's so much, isn't it?
but I go from chat to chat. Like I go from criminality to hidden true crime to Gray Hughes, listening to all the notes that people got for them. That's what I do. I scan looking for all the details, right? And by the way, Chasen, I'm gonna need you to get your friend over there because he is talking mad shit on hidden true crime. He is so angry. He said, how y'all not here for the past 7 years like I've been? And you don't know shit about this case, but yet you're in the courtroom and learning all this new stuff. Like it's just what it is he wasn't able to go, and I think he's a little salty about it. But I listened to his notes the first day that somebody gave him, and they were terrible notes. So then I went to Hidden True Crime and listened to her notes, and they were on point, boy. Them those Yeah, Gray. Gray's been tripping on her.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can Joe? Okay, just double checking. Since I might have had it on mute. Okay.
Hey,
Gray's been
Jen.
going off on Lauren?
Don't. Girl.
I haven't watched
Yes.
them.
I'm trying to think. It was,
He got deep into Delphi. He got like personally connected to the family and helped with some of the investigation and stuff, but don't be bitter because she's there and you're not.
I know. I think it wasn't last night. It was the night before. Um, I wish I could find it. I wish I knew how to find it. Let me try to pull up the transcript because I was like, no, you are not. And then last night, while he was going over his notes, he kept referring back to Lauren at Hidden True Crime.
Why is
And
he just like picking her out? Like Andrea Burkhardt's there. There's a couple other creators I can't think of off the top of my head that are there. Like, why is he so spicy at her?
I don't well now he's being a little kinder now about her,
Mm.
but I think it's because he sees she's got good notes.
She does have great notes. She takes great notes.
So that's how I've been keeping up with all my Delphi stuff is through her. Her notes
Yeah,
are just
her.
perfect.
I've been listening to her recaps. I haven't heard tonight's. She's like currently, live
I
going on there.
know. I know.
And criminality, because criminality's what she's doing is trying to compile, everybody's notes and try to make sense of it. But what do you think so far? What do you think? Defense Diaries, yes, he's there. Thank you, Shay.
I don't know dates. I don't know.
You
I'm
don't.
still torn. Am I right? Am I right when I say they didn't do a sexual assault kit
That's
on the girls?
I can't remember. And this is the problem with the Delphi trial because we're getting bits and pieces from this person and that person and this person. It's hard to remember what was what. I thought they did. I
I
thought
know
that that's what was gone over yesterday, that they did an essay kit, but there was no physical signs of sexual assault, right?
I get
But they did
maybe
do it.
I'm
Okay.
getting confused. They did do it as okay. Okay. no physical signs of a sexual assault, but they did do okay.
A
That
kit.
makes me feel better because I was thinking, why the hell would they not do the kit? I did listen to Criminality a little bit yesterday, and she had Sleuthy up there,
Yeah.
and it was before the end of the day for court. So they were kind of talking about like the notes that people came out with during the lunch hour, and they were saying that you couldn't see or hear Bridge Guy on there, but then Hidden True Crime,
Then
she said
Hidden went
the
over
same
it. Yeah.
thing. But when after they went back for lunch, she said they listened to it a few more times and you could see like,
They listened to the enhanced version. Yeah.
yeah, and you could see just a smidge, just like for a flash of a second, she said you could see the Bridge Guy in the video.
But she said he was so far away. Like, he's not, like, right next to the girls. He's so far away from them. What do
Well,
you
what
make
are
of
you
that?
thinking about it?
I'm on the fence because I mean, I've only been following Delphi since, June, July, sometime in there. But I think, um, if I was on the jury and I had to do a verdict right now, I do not guilty. There's reasonable doubt. Like, I would need some more concrete evidence to find him guilty at this point, because there might be something that comes out, but at this point, based on what we've heard,
I
and we're
mean,
getting, like it's like a game of telephone. We're getting what the reporters and, YouTube media people or social media people are grabbing, and then we're getting it, secondhand from them, so we don't even know what the jury's hearing technically.
right, I know. But for me, I don't know. Like he's there, he admits to being there. I just don't see how it's not him. He fits the physical
But you do
features.
realize that there were a lot of people on that bridge that day, and I
I
didn't realize
know.
that till recently that there were so many people in and out of that location, so
Well, look
I don't
at
know.
Hidden True Crime just did a visit there, and they've redone the bridge, most of it. Um and it was busy. There was so
Mhm.
many people out there. So I wonder if that's I don't know. I
But
don't
have we
know.
seen the same jacket? Like, we've heard the claims that he owns the same jacket, but it's just been that I think it was just his wife stating that, yes, he does own a dark colored Carhartt. That doesn't I don't know. There's so much that, like, somebody in my chat was saying the other day, "Well, he confessed." But we haven't heard those
Oh,
confessions. Like,
that
how was the confession? Was it made under distress? Like, what was it? Then we saw the written one, and I don't know, this
did
seems
you
weird.
see the excuse me, the picture of the written confession? Like, get the fuck out of here.
The
Get the
reenactment,
fuck
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, they
Like,
reenacted that.
if that's
Or
if that's
recreated, sorry.
if that's what he put, I'm now ready to fully confess whatever it said. It was so
Yeah,
generic.
it was.
It was very strange. I got a bad vibe off of it. Like,
I did too, that's kinda where I am, that's why I'm, like, on the fence. I'm like, I'll happily be a fence rider. Me and my horse over here, we're gonna be a fence rider on this one until more evidence comes out.
yeah,
But do you
it's
think he's gotten a fair trial so far?
um I don't know cuz I can't see nothing.
It's true. But, I mean, all the stuff leading up to this, I don't think has been, very fair. I
No,
think
I
if he
think
is
they were
found
leaving
guilty,
out
they'll be
stuff.
yeah, I think they're gonna have a grounds for a lot of appeals if he is found guilty. So, I don't know.
We know there's false confessions.
Mhm.
That's a possibility, Jason. I'm so confused with the Delphi. I don't like how secretive they're being because, okay, fine. If you don't want, cameras in there, cool, but at least have, like, are they recording it at least so that it can be put out later? I don't know.
Mm.
I don't like the secrecy.
Well, They are recording it. I don't know if they're gonna put it out later. Andrea Burkhart did put out a filing requesting the transcripts, to help with full transparency. Now, everything else has been shot down. I'm sure this is probably gonna get shot down as well,
But
but I don't know what's gonna happen
recorded.
after the trial.
Even if it's not recorded, a transcript would be amazing because you get all the details, right?
Mhm.
I know Gray said he was requesting the whole file when court's over, so
I'm sure a lot of people will be, about
Am
a
I
lot.
here?
you're
You
here.
are here.
Hello.
I literally had to reset my password for YouTube, get into StreamYards, change my avatar because I had my other one on. Literally this whole time I've been just trying to log in.
Oh, look at us. I didn't even realize we're all three on our horses. How
I
Well,
had
cute
to
are
the
change
horses
we?
it.
are necessary for the HOA meeting.
I had to change my horse, or change it to the horse, but I did. I knew it.
I would too, Mama. I would hate it. I would want to tell everything. You don't put me on a jury.
Mhm. And
I'm
then
mouth
being
of the South over
sequestered,
here.
that would suck.
Okay, so I guess that's
You
enough.
ready? Okay. Well, the meeting will come to order.
We got some things to talk about.
Mhm.
Skirt. Hold it.
I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting is currently being conducted according to Robert's Rules of Order. Who's Robert? I don't know, but go look it up. As always, we do aim to maintain civility and professionalism when discussing matters that are pertaining to the actions and behaviors of YouTube creators. Now, Madam Secretary, do you mind calling the roll and make sure everybody is here?
President Nunya, present. Vice President Johnson, present. And Secretary, present. We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We will now proceed to the reading of the minutes from the previous meeting. Madam Secretary, you have the floor.
At the last meeting, we discussed the claim brought forward by HOA member Melissa Jade regarding a comment allegedly made by YouTube creator Kathy P. It was said that Kathy P claimed another creator, Brittany J, had spoken on her deceased child. In response, Melissa Jade, Dietz, Nunya, Johnson, and other HOA community members investigated the origins of this claim. Kathy P appeared on panel with Melissa Jade, Johnson, Nunya, and Dietz, and others. While Kathy P insisted that Brittany J had indeed made the statement, she could not provide a timestamp of the allegation. Instead, she presented a screenshot of Brittany J's supposed words, though it is important to note that a screenshot of spoken words is not possible. Through further investigation, the HOA discovered that it was one of Kathy P's moderators who initially heard the claim and forwarded the screenshot to her. Despite Johnson and Nunya reviewing hours of Brittany's live streams, no proof of the statement was found. The matter remained unresolved after Melissa J directly questioned the moderator on Kathy P's channel. No conclusive evidence has emerged to support Kathy P's claims, and after further investigation, it was revealed that the original source of the claim may have been a subscriber, Kelly J, commenting this in Voices chat. The minutes of the previous meeting are submitted as read.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Are there any corrections to the minutes as read?
Hearing none, I move to accept the minutes as presented.
Okay, it has been moved to accept the minutes. All in favor, say aye. Please, in the chat, everybody, aye, all the members.
One,
Aye.
two, three. Aye.
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 Okay, all right. Looks like the chat agrees. It has been moved to accept the minutes. The minutes are approved. We will now move on to the current agenda. Our first matter of business today is regarding several YouTube creators. A lot of them, that means. Specifically those speaking negatively about the father or parents of a missing child. A multiple plaintiff injunction has been filed against 2 individuals, also known as Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching. Madam Vice President, would you like to elaborate on this issue?
Indeed, there's been considerable controversy surrounding this injunction. Some community members believe it to be a frivolous filing, while others argue that there may be some merit to it. It's essential that we remain impartial as an HOA in charge of the morality of YouTube creators' actions. The plaintiffs have alleged that more injunctions may be forthcoming. Meanwhile, some of these creators have already started GoFundMe campaigns for legal funds, even though the injunction has only been filed and not yet granted. This has, of course, stirred up a frenzy with many creators positioning themselves as legal experts. Unfortunately, instead of focusing on the actual legal proceedings, much of the discourse has devolved into finger pointing and whataboutism. Hold on. This, this has led to considerable unrest. Hold on. Okay. This has led to considerable unrest within the community as creators are engaging in premature fundraising efforts and fueling the blame game. Some are using these legal matters to incite further division rather than focusing on the facts of the injunction. There has even been an attempt by a private investigator who is not named in the injunction to shut it down. At this stage, it's critical that we as the HOA remain focused on ensuring that the truth is uncovered and that we do not participate in spreading misinformation. The floor is now open for any discussion on this matter.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. Is there any further discussion or new business to be brought forward by the Krama HOA community at this time? Anybody in the chat have anything that they need to discuss? Things you've been thinking on? We'll allow the chat to catch up for a minute. Madam
Besides the
Secretary?
injunction, I will take note of any new business.
Okay, there's no new
Fur
business.
Baby is over all the money begging, although I think that kind of goes with the injunction stuff. Cash thinks that the HOA is scum. Okay, Cash.
Okay, we're gonna have to.
All right.
We can bring it to the table, Cash.
All right. Tess, who frequently claims to be blocked, who is not, says that they're not able to speak.
I'm pretty
Any
sure
refreshments?
Tess plays the role of Delulu neighbor, who kind of
Mhm.
runs the what is the thing at nighttime called? Neighborhood Watch.
The
That's what
neighborhood
Tess
watch.
runs. Yeah, claims
Tess
they
and
can't see
Cash.
anything but sees everything. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, there are snacks. There are snacks available. This isn't Sarah Boone's trial. There are snacks available in the back of the room. Someone should have greeted you and handed them to you on the way in.
Amethyst, if the cookies are
Oh,
stale, talk to Shay. She's handing out the cookies, so
Shay.
that means she
Yes.
brought Shay brought the stale cookies to the
You
meeting,
probably
and
just
we're
got
gonna
an
need to
old
test
one.
that.
You probably got an old
Yeah.
one. I'm sure she has a new one for you.
One was probably left over from the last meeting. We try to recycle, reuse.
Yes, Cash will be charged an extra $100 in HOA fees this month for sure for his Discord and divisiveness.
Mom of
100%.
three said, truth, in my opinion, is they are all the pot calling the kettle black.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
the
there
truth
is
is
no.
off. Well, before we move on, there's one more
Okay.
thing. The
Sorry,
truth
go
is
ahead.
offering free legal advice. Her free legal advice is just shut the fuck up with your slanderous garbage. All sides, you're welcome. That's
Well,
her free legal
I did
advice.
get an email. The truth emailed me today, and not the creator of the truth, just the truth, the actual truth.
Oh, the actual
They
truth?
also said, stop saying there's nothing you can do to defend yourself or you need money to defend yourself, because shutting the fuck up is also an option. So they
Mhm.
wanted to make sure that the whole HOA is aware there are other options like shutting the fuck up, So that's an option as well.
So at this time, there is no new business
Okay.
Madam President. There might be more after the end of this live stream, but I will note it for you.
Okay. All right. Very well. If there's no further business, we will proceed to close this meeting. But before we do, I'd like to thank all the members of the HOA for their ongoing efforts in maintaining the moral integrity of our YouTube community. These matters are not easy to navigate, but our commitment to transparency, we're super transparent, and
Yeah.
justice is what sets this community apart from the rest of those people,
From
Okay.
the other sectors.
Yep. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your time and your contributions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so intermission. We're gonna
just
play
being
this. We're gonna
goofy.
play this video.
And
Get your
scene.
snacky snacks, your drinky drinks, whatever you need. Smoke them if you got them. Roll them if you need to. Eat you a gummy, whatever. I need to run and go grab a drink and potty. I'm gonna play this video real quick. Thank you so much, Steph B, for the 10 gifted memberships. Please, if
I
you got
also wanted
one,
to let people know that there is no cost. So if anybody asks you for money in the chat, there is no cost to join the HOA. So don't send them your money.
don't send anybody. No, we're not doing that.
Save your money.
Save your money. Okay, here we go.
Riding on my high horse, got the world beneath my feet. Every move's calculated, can't accept defeat. Conscience clean, I strut, my head held high, judging all the fools that can't even try. Standing tall with pride, I'm the king of this show. I'm the voice of the righteous, can't break my stride. On my moral high horse, in my truth I abide. The haters gonna hate, but I'm set to ignite with a heart full of power. Ready for the fight. Critics howling in the dark, but I'm shining like gold. The words don't faze me, too busy being bold. I'm a self-made champion, living life my way. While they climb the moral ladder, I've already won today. Watch them fall behind while I rise up and glow. I'm the voice of the righteous, can't break my stride. On my moral high horse, in my truth I abide. The haters gonna hate, but I'm set to ignite with a heart full of power. Ready for the fight. Critics howling in the dark, but I'm shining like gold. The words don't faze me, too busy being bold. I'm the self-made champion, living life my way. While they climb the moral ladder, I've already won today. Watch them fall behind while I rise up and glow. I'm the voice of the righteous, can't break my stride. On my moral high horse, in my truth I abide. The haters gonna hate, but I'm set to ignite with a heart full of power. With a heart full of power, ready for the fight. This high horse won't stumble, it's built to fly. In my realm of virtue, you can't deny.
Look, there we are.
This high horse won't stumble, it's built to fly.
Love it.
In my realm of virtue, you can't deny.
We're looking pretty thin.
This high horse won't stumble, it's built to fly.
Might be over here
In my
struggling my
realm
ass.
of virtue, you
I
can't
don't even
deny.
have it at all.
That's you in the back.
I'm flying the drone.
Oh, I was like, wait, where's Green? I didn't know she popped up here.
I'm the voice of the righteous,
I had
can't
to hide
break
in
my
the bushes to
stride.
get clean.
On my moral high horse, in my truth I abide. Can't break my stride. The haters gonna hate, but I'm set to ignite with a heart full of power. Ready for the fight.
All right.
Who did that? I have to know. Can I
Me.
know?
Me.
You made that?
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Oh wow,
Nice,
Nunya,
Johnny.
Johnson, I'm impressed.
Did you call me Nunya?
I did for a
She did.
second.
You
I don't know what
called
you
her
want.
yourself.
Called her yourself.
I was gonna speak in the third person. Apparently, I was gonna say Nunya is impressed. Joneson.
I need to
I don't
speak with
fucking
the
know what's going
president
on
of this
anymore.
HOA.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
me.
That's
Apparently,
Nunya.
Yeah,
Yes, the
well,
floor
for
is
the
well,
left
lady,
record,
open
listen.
for questioning.
Y'all are calling me a finger pointer, and all along, every finger I pointed turned out to be right. Mm-hmm.
What finger pointing?
Oh.
All the speculation, all that. When I was outside of that house, I got all the information, and the courtroom
Hold,
just
please,
proved me right.
ma'am. Bullhorn Grain. Could you please hold? I need to start the clock because
No. I get 3 minutes
community
from when you
members
start
are
the clock.
only
I just had to
allowed
get my
3
words in
minutes.
beforehand.
I'm
I just
gonna
had to
let
get
you
everything in.
start over, but I do have. Oh, no. Well, she's allowed 3 minutes, but okay, if she comes back, I'll allow her to start over with the 3 minutes.
Thank you
Well,
again, Steph, for the gifted memberships. Here she
really
comes.
quickly, I just wanted to make sure the truth, the creator, wanted us to remind everybody that Christmas is going to be on December 25th this year. It has in fact not been canceled.
I
I
feel
know
like
there's a
that's
lot
a
of
dig at me.
rumors. No, I know there's a no, not it wasn't great. It was a long time ago when the song first started. It had nothing to do with you. But she did want me to remind everybody that it is in fact not canceled. There's been some rumors on the streets that
Mhm.
Christmas was canceled this year,
I
but
have been collecting the notes from the chat, President.
uh-huh.
I didn't know if you wanted me to read them at this time or
Oh,
later.
absolutely. Go ahead. I'll
But I
shut up.
am. So far, I have 4.
You're the boss.
Laundry wants to know. I'm just the secretary, the lowly secretary. Laundry would like to know if we can replace her golf cart. I feel like we can mark this one off because we handle horses, not carts. So I think she might be
Yeah.
drunk and at the wrong meeting.
Sorry, Landry.
Peekaboo was streaking through the HOA meeting, and it did cause a little discord with a couple of members, but everybody else seemed to be fine with it, so I say it's fine.
Okay.
If you are okay with that, okay.
I think
Chico
everybody is
wants
fine with Peekaboo streaking. It's kind
streaking.
of what she
Okay.
does. We accept her for who she
Totally
is.
down. Totally down.
We accept all kinds of kinds here.
Yeah,
Chico
we
would
do.
like it to be known that she does not share hits of her blunt. So please do not
Whoa.
approach her and ask her in the chat. She will not be sharing any of it.
Oh, so there
And
isn't
that
a
is
puff puff
perfectly
pass policy?
no puff pass when it comes to Chico. Others can participate if they choose
Not
to
even
do
a
puff
dry lip
pass.
puff pass?
You'll have to take that up with her. That I don't feel like that's
Oh.
an HOA matter.
Oh.
The truth again, our president previously touched on this, but Truth does want again to remind us that Christmas is on December 25th of this year. And Elizabeth would like to know, has the HOA approved trick or drink?
Is it my
I don't
turn
know
yet?
Oh,
what
duh.
trick or
Trick or
drink
drink.
is,
Yeah.
Trick or drinking?
I guess.
Trick or
Is
drinking.
that what it's called?
That is all the questions from the floor for now. I will continue to scroll as we allow Bullhorn
Hey,
Rain
Pookie.
for minutes.
Bullhorn Grain. You have the
Okay.
floor, babe.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that it is imperative that you allow me to post a GoFundMe because I need a new drone in order to adequately film you guys on your horses. It would be a shame if the community did not come together and get me a new drone so that I can zoom in on your faces as you're running, galloping through the meadows.
What happened to the last drone that we just got you to make that video?
Well, Nanya, if you remember, your horse sat on it.
Fucking Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde
Always
with his
brings
big
this
old
up.
clodhoppers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
Um,
Can we
well,
first try and find somebody to fix it?
wait, is there evidence that Clyde sat on it? Was there a video of this? Do you
Oh,
have
we
any
didn't ask for
eyewitness
receipts.
accounts of that? Anything? Or are you just making this up? We need some proof.
Well, I would have to go to Joneson because she's the one who edited the video and it was clearly on there at the very end.
Oh,
I think
Joneson,
she's
what
hiding
say you?
evidence.
I've seen it.
Joneson, what say you?
Me.
I
I. Can we get a
Can we
receipt?
have a vote? I need a drone.
Chat. Okay, we'll have to take a community vote, I guess. Chat. Should we replace her drone?
So Chico said she also saw it. She was there and she saw it.
Oh,
See,
See,
Chico?
okay.
Mm? Chico's my
Chico's
ride or
got your
die, by the
back.
way.
Interesting. Not her just co-signing what she never even saw in the first place, just because. Okay.
might have something
Yep.
to do with that blunt earlier, but that ain't our
Right.
business.
And in order for me, oh, by the way, in order for me, there's just one small, minor request.
Uh-huh.
In order for me to travel such great distances with the drone,
Uh-huh.
I need a brand new camper, like the whole to do, and trailer
Ooh.
to pull along behind. Because, you know, with the horses and stuff, we have to keep the drone away from the horses.
Well, the truth
Yeah.
said,
As we
you're
learn.
on your own and you should start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I would
I
agree.
second the truth statement.
But I need
Oh,
backing. I need you all to share the link and everything so that I get the full benefit of the GoFundMe.
We like open back chairs here. There's no backing here.
Haven't you
that's
heard? I
yeah.
don't support
We
pay
sit on
links
stools.
for
mostly.
friends. I do
You know
not
what?
drop them bitches anytime for anyone. Haven't you heard?
But I do you all a tremendous favor by going out and harassing you and filming you while you're galloping through the forest.
Oh, you hear that? Your
What?
time is up. Sorry, that
Oh,
is Eddie hearing.
we're not.
That was
I
through
love you, ladies. Carry
Noone.
on. Sorry to interrupt.
Love it, Grain. Love it.
Okay, so the drone was approved because of Clyde. Way to go, President. And
Woohoo!
you're on your
I
own for the
can we
camper.
also make it known I did not make myself the president. I just happened to be asleep at the time where I was appointed president. So I just want everybody to know, because that God knows that'll be the next rumor of here I go, appointing myself as the leader of everyone.
That's
No.
why she's Johnson's handler.
All I do is read the scripts and do what I'm told. So I won't tell you who told me what to do. But
It
I'm
was
just saying I was
ChatGPT.
told. It
ChatGPT
was
told us what to
ChatGPT
do.
that is true.
So-
That is very true.
Okay, Vice President here.
Obviously true.
What's first on the list? What do you guys want to discuss first? The Rico Suave or which that kind of combines with the GoFundMe's and all the money raising going on right now by several people, not just one or two, several people.
And the
Or
bullshit.
we can go over well, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Rico. So here's my thing.
It's pretty much the talk of the town, is it not?
It is. I'm kind of over it because I'm tired of the begging. I'm tired of like, why are y'all fighting this Rico or not Rico? The what's it called, Deets?
Injunction.
Injunction.
That thing. Why are y'all fighting this tooth and nail when there's like, what's the reason? I don't understand the reason of fighting against this injunction. Like, why not just shut it down and step away from it, considering there's no new information coming out pertaining to Sebastian? So what y'all are essentially doing is fighting back these criminals, right? You're fighting the criminals for more future opportunities to continue to say what you want about these parents. Like, I don't understand it. You're literally fighting for that. If there's nothing going on in the case, it shouldn't be that hard to say, you know what? Fuck it. I put my pride to the side. I'm going to step back from this situation. I'll private what I need to private or edit what I need to edit, and we'll be done with it. It's not
that's
that
a good
hard.
point. That's a good point. You're essentially fighting to talk crap about a parent? I mean, the way you laid it
Well,
out
That's
there.
what they're fighting
and
right now. They're not fighting to talk about Sebastian.
Well, I think that's where like it's kind of been hidden. I know that those documents are a lot for anybody. If you don't speak
Mhm.
legalese, if you don't really know the legal stuff, which I am that person, so I'm talking about myself. So even sitting down and listening to somebody read it all off and show all the exhibits, that is very hard to take that and put it into layman's terms so that the layman like myself can understand it. But um thank goodness for Deets because she was willing to sit with me and answer all my millions of questions this paragraph at a time. And when you do
To the
go
best of
through
my
it, for
ability, let's
me,
can we
yes, because
update
you
that
are
real
not,
quick? None of us are
yeah,
lawyers or have any legal
no,
knowledge. We've never been paralegals or self-proclaimed paralegals
we
or
just
any of
ask
that
a lot of
ish. Just
questions.
trying to yes, we like to
Yeah.
ask questions.
But I also feel like my kind of conclusion that I came to in the end of it was I feel like it's very hard to understand how we are, woohoo, go proud foots against Betty and shut her down for her harassment and cyber stalking and defamation of them. And then we're like, no, Seth, don't do this. You're just trying to make us silent. Like
Right.
both of them can absolutely be true. No, nobody is just trying to like people make it seem as if this is taking your freedom of speech away. No, there are some really terrible things that were said and done by some of these creators, not just one person, not just two people, 52 people apparently. And if the accusations, I will put that out there, if the accusations are legit and they have any type of like they actually happen, some of them are terrible. Doxing somebody's mom because you thought that they weren't they didn't do the job that they said that they did. What in the world?
It's
Putting her
insane.
job out there, putting a school where elementary children go and people are crazy on the internet? What in the world? Like it
Allegedly,
just
we
it's
we
why
we only
allegedly,
know what's
allegedly all
claimed in that injunction. I don't know
right.
if that took
If
place at
that's
all,
why I
but
said
yeah.
if any of those things
Mhm.
actually happen, you are doing the same thing. You have done the same thing. And so now to me, your option is shut the fuck up. The crazy part to me is then I turn around today because I've been online since I'm home this week. I've been online more and I look today and you're right back at it. So
Yeah.
Were
you
they?
want like you cannot say this truly to me. People
Mm.
talk about, oh, they just want to shut me down. They just don't want to be criticized by me. This is far allegedly above criticism. This is not just criticism. You can criticize people all day, every day. That is free. Good for you. But it's not too hard to shut the fuck up. It's not too hard not to dox people. It's not too hard to get so
Mhm.
emotionally connected to something that you do a live stream from 9:15 to 12:15 every single day for 6 months about the same person and you follow them and you go over everything that they've done for the last 6 months. Like, come on now. That's not freedom of speech. Sorry, not
Well,
sorry.
someone said free speech should be free. Is supposed to be free, but and it is. But freedom of speech doesn't come without. There's limitations to what we can say. I think we're all aware of that. That free speech, because for me, some of this feels like a lot of people are taking issue with this when they're supporting the Proudfoots doing it to Betty, and I think that we can find that there are instances in both situations that we might agree with and disagree
Yeah.
with. But
Yeah.
the freedom of speech, I think we should all get on the same page with that. We are allowed our freedom of speech. However, there are limitations to what we can and cannot say and do and put on people. And that's
And
not Madam Secretary telling you that, that's the US Constitution
so
telling you that.
here's a few comments I starred. Nonsense said the only thing being asked for in the injunction is the threats to stop and defamation. However, it's because of the plaintiffs muddying, I think, and claims made. For me, if it was Seth, I'd support. I think that Brittany J shouldn't be involved in this.
Yep.
I think no one, honestly, I think none of them except Seth should be
I
involved in this.
I actually agree with Julia.
What Julia
If
said.
if all of the claims that are there for Julia, she's the other one I do agree with.
Yes. If those claims
Oh,
are all
Julia in the
correct,
thing. I thought you meant
If
Connie.
they're
yeah,
true,
if she
that's
can prove her credentials and prove she was actually like if her claims are all accurate, like Dunya said, I do think that
Yep.
she might have a situation
But I
there.
also feel like it's up to like the only ones in the situation that have a right to, continue with this and to defend themselves, in my opinion, this is strictly me, are the Proudfoots. They were, there were things put in that injunction. I mean, there's false claims for all of them, right? But they're the only ones that matter to me in the injunction. If they want to handle it, then that's what they'll do. But I feel like right now, y'all are fighting for your right to continue to fight, to continue the madness.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. You're not fighting for the right to be able to talk about Sebastian because ain't goddamn one of you done that.
Well, and my question here is so far this injunction has only been filed. It has not been accepted. It has not, or it hasn't been put on a docket in front of a judge. None of that.
Mhm.
So, um, what did you guys say? There was like 3 or 4 GoFundMe's currently for this. Like, what is with the
Well,
premature?
you
I
got dog.
I understand some of them because, like, you might have to call and get some legal advice beforehand.
Or
But
it may
some
take
of
you a
them,
little while if you have a smaller audience. It may take you a little while to
right?
get to the amount
But
you'll actually need to pay a lawyer. So I could understand that.
some of them who aren't even the defendants out here with like GoFundMe's and
Yeah,
shit. Like,
true.
what is going on?
And why is it everybody else's responsibility? Like, why? I don't understand. You're the creator. You're the one on these platforms spewing the foul shit. It's great if you have subs that want to support you. But if and this could just be me. If I was in this situation, I personally, if I wasn't shutting it down and I was continuing to follow through with it, defending myself, I wouldn't take a dime from subs to do that because I got myself into it. My mouth did that. My
Melissa said
accusation.
that they challenged to be brought to court. They were
Yes,
they
there's one not Granny, I think the other lady, which I don't know much about her other than
I don't
just
even.
little bits here and there that I've heard, but nothing in depth. But I think the other lady was like, "I dare you."
Oh,
Oh, okay.
barbecue
Barbecue.
The
lady?
barbecue
Yeah.
lady. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of
But
attorneys do have a free consultation. That's true. Like, if you're not a defendant, like, I don't see anything wrong with calling and getting a free consultation. A lot of these are content creators who make plenty on their channel. I'm sure they can afford to call and have a paid consultation as well. A paid consultation isn't thousands and thousands of dollars. So if you're not named as a defendant on a non-approved injunction, why are you gathering so much right now?
I agree. And I agree with
well,
what Jason said that the chat, does contribute to the shit
yeah,
talking.
it does.
They absolutely do. And I think that's why these subs
The
feel
bone
so
collectors.
inclined to put money towards it for the creator. That's fine. Do
Well,
what
and
you
Oh,
want, but
Granny
let's be
challenge
real though.
Brittany.
If you
Mm,
do allow that stuff, like to me, I well, probably because I'm so high up on my horse and shit, I do think that channel owners are responsible for
yes.
maintaining what standard they want in their chat, in their, on their panels, all of those kinds of things. And so to me, now does that mean you can do your content and watch everything in the chat? Absolutely not. But it does mean that you've connected yourself with good mods who you've laid out or said what you will allow or won't allow, and those mods handle that for you. If you don't have that, it
Um,
means you're letting everybody run rogue.
and I
and
agree
there
with I'm
oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead, Deets.
Sorry, Mrs. Vice President, please go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree with not that Amber, because she said use some of the money you made off talking about him for your lawyer fund. I do kind of agree with that too, because we've seen the views, we've seen the numbers. We're not blind. We all see it.
Yeah.
Y'all have been banking, whether it's Brittany J, Granny, Queen, Clue, whoever, y'all are banking off this child's case. Use some of that money. Y'all are doubled up right now on money, probably. So,
And I seen one of the I don't know what chat I was even in, but yesterday it kind of frustrated me. Somebody had said I don't think I don't think they're a defendant. I think they may be like one of the does, or their name was mentioned or something like that, right? And so they're in a chat and they're like, people don't understand how this affects my real life. I have kids, for fuck's sakes. And I'm like, I need you to get up on your panel to run your channel as if you have something to fucking lose. Because when you walk
absolutely.
around like you have nothing to lose, of course you're going to be reckless.
Right.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
But
what
very
I
stop
meant
true.
making
by you
everybody else
fuck around.
responsible. And then I'm gonna collect money while still being reckless.
Yeah.
What?
And we're going to fuck around with
Crazy.
crooks and criminals and then be completely surprised when something like this is dropped on us. The fuck out of here. Y'all continued. Y'all, it just is what it is, man. It's
Well,
so ridiculous.
I mean, everybody was given multiple warnings, were they not? Multiple
Yeah.
warnings. And
They've
so
been talking about this injunction
why
since
is
the beginning.
anybody shocked that this is where we are? Like, I mean, I'm shocked that I guess I am shocked that someone actually went and did it, but when you are the people actually being warned repeatedly, you would think you would take heed to that. And to Wee's comment, that's why we added a big if. If she can prove all those claims, if Julia can
Absolutely.
prove that she, has that clearance, that she did go to Tennessee, that she um is all those things. That's why we said there's a big if, because this is another thing we have to remember. It's something I'm learning listening to the Leilani trial. Like, just because someone gets on YouTube and says a bunch of shit doesn't mean that's going to matter um, as it pertains later. Like, she could claim that, yes, I was very elusive when it came to my credentials and my stuff online to protect my identity. So, I don't know. That's why there's a big if in asterisks pertaining to Julia.
I just want to say I tried to put a catfish on my horse, and this is what I
Yeah.
got.
I knew that's
What
what those
is
were
it?
supposed to be.
Can you make it big so I can see it?
Yeah.
But don't yell at anyone.
I won't, I promise.
Don't
Jones, and you
yell
have
at
to make it
anyone.
out there. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it didn't come
cool.
out the way I wanted, but I figured
You
it was
look
a
like
good
you're
laugh.
fishing.
Right.
You're fishing.
So, yeah. Hello.
I love it.
Oh, what I was going to say earlier before AMAC talks. If you are a creator on this platform, it is and making anything, even if it's just a couple $100 a month, look into an LLC. I know everybody gave Molly Golightly shit for being an LLC, but especially in this trauma drama sector, if you are a creator, look into having an LLC and thank me later.
I mean, nobody's saying that this whole crew and this whole thing isn't, or we're not saying it's legit. I mean, the company itself, it's a new company. It started from it doesn't even make sense. Me and Yet were going over some of the stuff in it the other night she told me about. But it doesn't, like, it doesn't take away from the fact that you ain't got to be a legit LLC, a legit company to necessarily be able to take this type of uh, uh injunction or put this type of injunction forward. Um I think it's so much easier to just shut the fuck up. That's what I think.
Well, the reason that I recommend an LLC for creators, and it's like, again, it's not very hard, is it's gonna add an extra layer of, protection on your personal liabilities as a content creator. But again, I don't want to be up here like preaching to y'all about this. Just if you are a content creator, And with the lawsuits are freaking flying, y'all. The suits, injunctions, and all that are flying.
Facts,
You might take a few
ROs.
extra steps to
Protect yourself.
CYA. Just cover your ass.
I agree,
Yep.
nonsense. We seen what was coming. We tried to say, like, cool your jets, like calm down a little bit, and nobody wanted to take heed to that. But that's why I mean, like, you can't be shocked that these people, look at who they are. You can't be shocked that they've pulled some bullshit like this. And it's either shut up and defend yourself, right? Well, it seems much easier to just shut the fuck up, because if you defend yourself, what are you defending yourself for? Defending yourself for the right to continue trashing parents? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
SG, it does seem like a lot for an injunction, but you have to remember it's a multi-plaintiff injunction. That's why it's extremely excessive. And I
And
do think that's intentional.
yeah, and I don't think anybody is delusional enough to not see that this is very, like, the intention is very clear. It may
Absolutely.
look a specific way, but they went to that state specifically for a reason. They went for those people specifically for a reason, in my opinion. And it's just the beginning. That's just my opinion of it. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that may, see it going that same way. And really, the group of people who stand behind the parent, they they give off this vibe of, we're just here to help, we just want to help, we just if all these people would just move out of the way, we could bring them home tomorrow.
No, yeah.
And that's not how it works. And
And
they're
we know that's not
absolutely
what they're here
using
for.
him to push their own agendas. A lot of them on, let's just say it, Brittany and Bullhorn Betty specifically were absolutely on there just to push their own agendas and to bulk up the suit to make it seem as if there's some legitimacy to the whole thing. I'm not saying those things, and they may be victims in their own minds and in their own hearts, and I'm not taking away their victim status from them, whatever that looks like for them. But I also think that, like, this didn't really have anything to do with them. The stuff that was said about them, the stuff that they went through, it wasn't really connected to this case. It's been ongoing for years and had nothing to do with this. So
Well,
I
they
think
might
that's
have
where,
something. I think you're saying, like, they might have something on their own separately, but what does
yeah,
have to, like, their claims, and I agree with you on this, shouldn't be attached with
absolutely.
Sebastian's case, because that's kind of what
Absolutely.
the
That's what I mean.
injunction's about. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. There's a lot of it that shouldn't be in there that has nothing to do with Sebastian's case. They let's use Brittany J and Granny for example. She thinks because things have continued, like Granny going for Seth, Brittany J going for the Proudfoots, and it's really just them going at each other. And she thinks that because they're using the underlying of the parents as like a shield,
Yeah.
that includes her in this. No, it don't. And you're whack as fuck for doing this, for even signing on to it. If you feel this way and you feel this strong about being bullied, then you should do that shit on your own time, not Sebastian's.
Yep. Because it has nothing to do with your coverage of him as to why any of your claims, if they did happen, nothing to do with him at all. It's absolutely opportunistic behaviors.
Oh, thanks for rejoining, Pearl. You'll never take me
Take me
alive, fish.
I've got a few more comments for the
Okay.
HOA. I'm like 4 minutes behind, but since you highlighted Pearls, that's the one I just wrote down. I'll start previously.
Is Grain on
Lindsay,
panel with us? Is that who that is? Sorry. I'm sorry,
it's
D.
That's
AMAC.
AMAC.
It's AMAC, Mac
Oh.
Attack, and
Okay.
her
Sorry.
catfish horse.
My catfish horse.
Lindsay does not have a matter to take to the HOA. She just wants us to know a true crime update since we are true crime adjacent. She wanted to let people know that a decision should be announced this week in the Menendez brothers case. So that's very interesting.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
very interesting.
Someone wanted to know the difference between doxing and going real life. And so maybe we can put a pin in that one.
That'd be good.
The truth wants, she said that she might be sued in 2026. Can she start a GoFundMe now? Thoughts?
Why not? Everybody
I
else
mean,
is.
yeah, just in case you want to make sure that you've got enough and that you're
Mm.
taken care of.
Listen,
Yeah, that's a good
Dolly's
point.
GoFundMe. I don't know what it's called. It's not a GoFundMe. It's something
Girl,
else.
it's like a defense for freedom
For him and
builders
He's
or something.
protecting
everybody
our
else.
rights.
He's
It's
protecting
freedom
all
the
of
fourth.
us. Yeah, no,
Girl.
get the fuck out of here. You're not
Let me go
protecting
read it.
shit.
Hold
You're
on.
protecting
I know
your
exactly.
right to continue to fucking spout shit out of your mouth that you shouldn't be spouting. Does that make sense?
And here's the thing. The only reason why he's doing that is because it's his thumbnail, which people have been calling out that are gross to him for years now. It is his thumbnail claiming something that was not it. While you claimed it was entertainment, it's not so entertaining when your name and your thumbnail end up in a lawsuit. So how about you listen when people say, hey, that's really bad?
Well, like, what do they think? Do they think that these people, the crooks, are trying to just shut them up completely? Like, go on about your true crime. Go on about your speculation responsibly. Just stop attacking folks. Y'all are literally fighting to keep that going.
So here's what his says. It says, we are reaching out to seek your support for Dolly Vision's fight for freedom of speech. In a world where open dialogue is increasingly at risk, Dolly Vision stands as a beacon, ensuring that everyone has the right to express
Fuck
their
my life.
ideas without fear. Your generous donation will help us continue our mission of defending free speech for all, providing a
love fucking
platform for
kidding me.
voices that might otherwise go unheard. Every
Y'all are
contribution, big or small, strengthens our ability to uphold this fundamental right. For standing with us in this critical fight. What?
I just threw up in my mouth. I had to
Right?
fix myself. The
That
fuck?
took my breath away, Dolly. That took my breath away.
Like, you know, he didn't write it first off because he can't use big words. Fundamentally is a big word for him, so we know
Well,
he
he-
didn't write it.
And he put the number 4 for justice.
Did he?
I think in the title it was like
No,
the fight
no.
for. Okay, I thought so.
Not in the one I'm reading, which is a screenshot from somebody's. I think it's Shady's community page. Not in the one I'm reading. No, it's not. It's not. It is typed out FOR.
Jesus Christ!
Okay,
Like,
let me read.
why?
Johnson,
Go
can you
ahead.
turn me down? They said I'm super loud when I get passionate.
you?
And I'm doing my dramatic readings. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry for those who have headphones. I apologize.
It's just passionate. That's why she's the president, y'all. Okay, that was the end of truths. Not that Amber said, why does anyone care if Seth Rogers starts a nonprofit? Like, and I'm summarizing this because it was a long post. What does that have to do with anything? They're just trying to stir up drama. Let him do him. That's me summarizing, not her exact words. Yeah, why do we care?
Can you read that again?
I mean, so she wants to know, why does anyone care if Seth Rogers starts a non-profit? Like, it just seems like they're trying to stir up drama with him starting a nonprofit. Like, who cares? I mean, I don't know the situation around this, but the not laundries, Lord forgive me, the Petitos, they started a nonprofit. Like, what does it matter if he's starting a nonprofit? Why do we care?
Look,
Mm.
Whistle Down said, "Can y'all approve my Mountain Dolphin mailbox? It's been months now.
Mountain,
rude.
what is the mountain dolphin?
I don't know.
The vice president instantly approved that one, so I don't even have to write it
Yeah,
down.
it's a dolphin. Hell yeah, I'd approve that. It's an animal.
And then Pearl says, does the HOA have international jurisdiction, or is she free to run the streets wild? We have international jurisdiction. We are
We do.
multinational, Pearl.
Yeah, we are.
You are not free to run the streets wild, ma'am. Not at all.
It's HOA worldwide.
There was
Worldwide?
something nonsense said. Oh, this one. Jones, and one thing random though is this has emboldened BHB so far that she brought up the judge's grandkids today. Like, what is she drinking besides straight audacity? Girl, Betty, it don't surprise me. She is
But
gonna go
that's,
to
I mean,
jail.
yeah, well, here's the thing. It does not shock us at all that Betty is doing Betty stuff, right? Does that shock anyone that Betty is doing Betty things? But why are we trying to do Betty things? And I mean, we as like this sector. That's what my question is. Okay, Betty's
I
still
I
being
think
Betty, using this to be her.
so.
Why are we?
I think that I think this lawsuit has not emboldened her to do anything. I think she is doing the same exact thing she has been doing. And one of the things I know I had mentioned, I think last night, when we were chatting about it, is it's almost like, for me, just what I see, the more attention that you give to someone, where it steps over the line of just correcting misinformation or showing their own words or their bad behaviors, and it steps into covering every single thing that they do, right? Every day it's them, right? When that line is crossed, in my mind at least, like, you are giving them exactly what they want, which is that attention. I don't agree with, and I think that is terrible. If Betty did that, it's absolutely terrible, 1000%. It's far over the line, but there is nothing that anybody here on the internet can do, in my opinion, to shut that down when that judge gets word of it on his own, because I'm sure that the Proudfoots will have that and they'll take that to the court, or the Bowersox or whoever, and that will be shown to the judge at some point or another. And when he sees that, he can make that judgment from there. He will not take very light to that. I'm pretty sure of that as well. But I don't think that this lawsuit made her go and do those things. Like, she was already
No,
talking
it's
about
just, yeah.
the judge and his business and his connection to this person and that person and all those kinds of things. She was already digging on the judge prior
Mhm.
to this
Yep.
this lawsuit. So I don't think that one
Injunction.
has I that's just my opinion. I don't think one has, given her more.
No, I don't think it's emboldened her. I think it's just her continuing her. Uh,
As for the
um,
501, I don't really, you know what? Just really haven't focused on that at all. Like, but I
I
get
don't
what
even
nonsense
understand
is
why is
saying.
anybody focused on it.
Well, nonsense
yeah.
is saying like it's because something he's tried to do before in California, but Sebastian wasn't diagnosed with autism back then. So now he's trying to do it under the guise of it's for autism. I guess
Well,
like a
let me
autism
preach. Let me
awareness. I
just
don't know.
preach for a little
Okay.
moment. Just because that's what he's claiming, it doesn't mean that's gonna happen. I'm starting to adopt the mentality of let's wait and see because, like I said, again, going back to Leilani's trial, so much shit was told to us on YouTube before this trial by family members that has turned out to be false. 1000% false. Never done, wasn't, that's not how it was. We were flat out lied to in some instances. And it has me regretting, like, oh, why did I stand up for this? Because we don't know if any of these family members, the people associated with them, connected to them, are telling us the truth. So if I saddle up my horse next to that person, I might end up looking like a fool going along with it when it later comes out that wasn't true at all. So I guess I'm just starting to take a more of a wait and see approach with a lot of this stuff, especially if it means like why would I drag the father of a missing child now for that if I don't even know the full details of what it is? I
Right.
just think sometimes we just need to take a breath.
Yeah. So I seen JP's comment. She wanted to know everybody's thoughts.
Oh, I can't.
So
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think I
say
can see
this.
her.
I'm going to say that while I myself would not have done that, I do feel like there was, like, that's, for me, that is taking a step too far. However, the way it's been presented of a run tell that, no. If she felt,
Oh,
right,
this one. Okay.
that it was necessary for the lawyer to know
Oh, I'll tell
about
you how
those
I felt about
claims
that.
I
and put a
found it.
little link in there, that's on her. Like, I don't have a problem with that, to the extent of, like, that's not something I would do, but I don't think that that's anything bad, like, oh, call it out, like that's just me. I don't I also think like calling it a tattletale, I don't think it's being a tattletale. I think everything we fucking do on the internet is tattletaling.
Well, how can we
Truly.
tattletale? How can we tattletale on something that was done on a public platform by a public content creator and it's
Yeah.
still currently there? Like I don't know how that's it's not well, maybe it's tattletelling, but I don't think it's going real life. So how I feel about this is what was presented that day in my live stream was that this was claims of her going real life. And I do not feel, this is just my opinion, doesn't
Strongly
mean you
against that.
have to have the same opinion as me. I don't feel it's going real life because she shared a link to a public YouTube live and she did not give real names. She gave public YouTube names. Again, what I said that day, I'm gonna stand on. Would I have done it? No, because for me personally, I don't like to get that involved in the behind the scenes stuff with families and lawyers and judges and content creators and all that. I feel like that's when you get so deep in it that it gets messy and things like that happen. So I stay clear away from that. Um, and that's just where I am. Like, would I do it? No. Do I think it's going real life? No.
For me, I understand where she was in her train of thought. She don't give a fuck who it is. She felt like if sending this link, right, this email, these links, 'cause it was if sending these links or these emails will help stop the crap going on between the sides, then that's what she
Right.
was willing to do. Would I do it? No. Do I think it's going real life? No. I wouldn't do it, and I think it's getting a little too involved, in my opinion. And
Exactly.
I just, but I ain't hating her for it. It's just like it's something. If she's willing to stand on it, then she's willing to stand on it. There. What am I supposed to say?
Oh, I agree with Amethyst. I'm so far back, so you guys might already said this, but Amethyst said, I would love to see the victims and families come together and file on creators that have exploited victims for years. 1,000%, Amethyst.
1000%. Yep.
I'm with you on that wholeheartedly. And
Yep.
it would be great to see them come. Like, if this was an injunction with Chris, Katie, and Seth, I think the conversation would be completely different.
So nonsense. Are you saying I'm trying to keep up with everything? You're saying that the 501c3 was discussed by Mr. E on his channel, but Seth hasn't said anything about it. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if there's something shady going on there, the IRS will probably get him. So I don't know.
I agree. Allegedly, occasionally, good and Lord, that's a mouthful. I agree to an extent. Um,
I struggle with this one
I agree with it
because
because I do feel like he's attacking Chris and Katie in the what's it called? Injunction. And he's blatantly saying he thinks that they have something to do with Sebastian going missing. But for me, that's for Chris and Katie to deal with, not all of us. Let Chris and Katie deal with it.
Where'd I put my phone? I don't know why I asked you guys that.
so I struggle with that one because I don't know.
Speak your
I
mind,
think
girl.
I know I'm trying to word it because I don't want to be canceled and shit. Apparently, I give a fuck. But
You'll be ending up working at the Wendy's if you do.
I know, God, I'll lose all my income. So Griffiness will be over for me. I think where I'm challenged with that is I think sometimes we put a lot of our personal experiences on the actions of others, and we make it personal experiences with people who we've known like that, seen like that, heard talk like that. So I really do struggle in that space. Um, do I think that some of the stuff that he put in there, like the accusing her of doing something to Sebastian and other things like that, absolutely not acceptable, gross. I'm with all of that. But the filing strictly being to harass her, I haven't heard a perspective yet that makes that thought process that process come to, like an understanding for me. So I do struggle with that space. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, that's cool. But for me, it's just hard to connect with that space. I
I feel like
Yeah, I
everything he
just
does is to poke at them. Meanwhile, like, think about
It
what
comes
he's
across that way.
it does. And think about the things he put in the injunction. Meanwhile, just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you had Chris on a panel, standing up for him, saying he's a grieving father, he's missing his son. Stop bashing him. Stop attacking him. Stop the drama. So to me, that would break my heart if, you know what I'm saying, if I was in Chris's and Katie's position, it'd be like, why am I even standing up for this dude? But that's not for
Mhm.
me because I'm not in that
But
position.
but they have made the
but
decision to continue to stand up for him even after he has bashed them, so this is something like, this isn't for us, and
Right.
and I know Seth is
right.
giving it to us because he's stating these things publicly, but it seems like one side is trying to handle it privately and not go out of pocket in the public,
Mhm.
and I think it's fair to respect that, and I do wanna touch up on, JP's comment saying um she did it thinking she would remain anonymous, probably considering she asked in there,
Well, yeah,
"I
she
wanna be
did.
anonymous." She didn't think
Yeah.
anybody would find out, that was her comment, probably,
Listen, he
but here it
snitched
is.
her out. He
Yeah.
he he snitched her out, plain and simple.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I know people feel like that's going, or some people feel like that's going in real life. I don't see her reaching out with links to public YouTubes as go in real life. I think that she's got
Mm-mm.
Sebastian in mind, she's got the victim in mind, and she doesn't care who she has to placate to for all of this to stop. That's what
But
I think.
we can't speak on her intentions. We don't know what her
Mm-mm.
intentions are, but if the question is, do we think this was going real life? No, I do not. Is it something I would do? No, it is not. I mean, that's what I can speak on. And then we had a great PSA that I wanna say. She said, "Neither Dietz nor the HOA is recommending for anyone to contact the IRS personally. Thank you kindly." Yes, nobody is
What in the
saying that.
world?
That is a great reminder. I feel like we have to constantly add
And
in disclaimers. Do not contact the IRS.
I agree
Um,
also with what Shay said and what Nunya said. I do think the way it was handled on Dietz's panel, all that went down the other
oh,
day, I do think that there needs to be some kind of accountability and
What was
maybe an
Shay's comment?
apology.
yeah, I
What was
definitely
Shay's
definitely agree
comment?
with that. But I also think so. I did see.
I starred it.
I
Look in the
am.
starred
What was
dates.
your comment?
Oh,
Maybe.
okay. Sorry.
But I did see the that
Um,
these people are running the enterprise kind of a comment earlier. Maybe it was the getting. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Um, there is something to be said, just logically. Take the emotion out of it, right? Logically, each of the people are so far. Let me clarify that. So far, the people who are being accused or applied for an injunction against, most of
Mhm.
those people at some point have stated that they have some type of communication with the Proudfoots. It could be, oh, Chris texted me. Oh, I talked to Chris yesterday. Oh, Chris should be around. Oh, Chris is here on my panel. They have had and mentioned some type of connection to them. So the fact that they claim they are running the whole enterprise is not shocking to me because that's what was put out. Not that they were running an enterprise. I don't think that at all. But these people are all connected to them in some way. At some point in time, we heard them say they have had that communication behind the scenes with them. So
you think
logically in
that's what
my
they're
head,
basing it on?
yeah, while I think it's stupid as hell, and I don't think that there's any other than the group of people being the enterprise, I don't think there's this big conspiracy against them, right? I don't think that's actually happening, but I understand why when it's put on paper, my first thought was, I've heard that person say it. I've heard that person say
I
it.
was just about to say that, Nunya. Think about it.
Mhm.
I went
Granny's
through and I
mentioned
was like,
it. Clue,
Yeah, I
Queen,
get where they're coming from with it. Again, I think it's stupid as hell,
barbecue.
but I get why they're like, "Oh, these people are behind it." It's stupid as hell, yes, but ultimately,
But we do that too. Like, and that was something I talked to you about the other night, is that this side of the street does that as well. When we are like, "Oh, look at this connection and look at that connection." Chances are they're talking behind the scenes
Hey,
that they're
Savage.
doing this and that. Like, if you think about it, every a lot of your favorite YouTube creators say that very same stuff. So, why is it hard for us to believe that others would try to do that to the other side as well?
Jen Lou, where's your horse?
I don't have a
She has a
horse.
monkey.
I
Oh, she's
only
the
have a
monkey.
monkey that drinks Capri
Listen.
Sun.
Okay,
Okay,
extra
wear the
HO fees for
onesie.
Jen Lou. Extra HO fees for Jen Lou next month.
Melissa Jade said, "Here is what I don't." Now, this is exactly what I. This is the point in tonight's live. Here's what I don't understand. I've heard them say they don't believe Seth has any involvement in Sebastian's disappearance.
I was just writing
Then
that
what
down.
exactly are you fighting for? To drag him daily? I don't get it. They are fighting for their
Yeah.
right to continue to attack these parents. It's mind blowing.
they're fighting for their right to say whatever they want about him or anybody who chooses to support him, align themselves, take advantage of him, whatever you want to consider it. That's what they're fighting for.
You really think so, JP? You really think that all of like what Maniacs
She
did
did
was
mention
just to hurt Queen
she
Bee?
did mention Sebastian in that email. We could pull it up. She talked about putting the claim of sexual assault on him. Yeah.
Oh,
So, I mean,
yep,
she
that's
she
right.
does
She
mention
did.
him.
Can I say something just real quick? Because
Go ahead,
I just
Jen.
want to say it and then I want to get down. So I think we should remember how the quote unquote sides got started, right? Let's think back about how this started. It started, in my opinion anyway, because it started with the GoFundMe. There was with the GoFundMe that was made for Seth. That's what started the crack in the foundation between Chris and Katie and Seth. Now, I'm not arguing about whether the GoFundMe was right, whether it was wrong, whether it should have been done, whether it shouldn't. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap about that. That's not the point. But that is where they were united at that up until that point. And that's where the tiniest little crack started to show. And what happened after that? YouTube exploited it, and that crack grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And all of this that's happening right now all started by an exploitation of a situation where people should have taken the "my name's Bennett and I ain't in it" policy. Nobody should have ever spoken on, well, what do you think about, allowing the parents initially to sort of bash each other, and they fed into it. And then it got really divisive. And that's where it should have stayed. So when it comes to this whole thing, whatever it is that Seth put in his part of the injunction, his claims, we need to go back to my name's Bennett and I ain't in it. My name's Paul, and that's between y'all, and let them handle that and not speak on it, and as much as we can, and stay out of it. Because I think that's why I think that at the end of the day, whatever the outcome of this missing persons case turns out to be, it will be Chris and Katie and Seth ultimately who have to handle it, deal with it, and move on. And if, however it happens, they have to be a family again. If Sebastian comes home, they have to learn to be a family again for him. And if people truly
And
do
that's going to
care
be
about
really hard.
it, is, and
It's
if
gonna be
people
really hard.
truly do, if this is all for Sebastian, then put yourself in Sebastian's shoes. He loves Katie and Chris, and he loves his dad, Seth. And he wouldn't want people bad mouthing either side. That's just how I feel about it. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
And
I
then,
feel
and
awful.
like Chasing said, they're going to be alone too, because then everybody else will have moved on to the
Correct.
next case, the next
Exactly.
hot topic, all that stuff.
Exactly. Because they'll have moved on. That's the thing. So that's just my little tiny piece of advice, my little tiny thing that I wanted to say. I'm just going to keep, I'm going to keep being and I'm so glad to hear you say, Deets, that you like to take the wait and see approach. I employ that approach quite frequently, and it has yet to steer me wrong. Sometimes it's okay to wait and see. You don't got to say something right away all the time. Sometimes it's all right to take a breath.
So they're talking about this thumbnail, and Tess said they can't stand Savage, but I interpreted that as the okay sign. I just went over there to look, so I don't even know what I was talking about.
Anything.
There's no thumbnails. Yeah, there's a Chroma one, and then two thumbnails of her face, and then a Halloween costume contest. That's
And
all I
what
see.
is the let me go back to the start. What was it? Okay, the white power
I'm gonna
sign.
screenshot it. I'm gonna screenshot it for you. What they're.
Okay, put it in
I just went and
Discord.
looked.
Okay.
But
How
some
can
of
you see
y'all,
it and
I
we can't
just
see
tell
it?
you, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe
while
because
we're
I'm not
talking
subscribed,
about
I don't watch. Maybe. No offense. Just saying, maybe it came up.
insensitive subjects, I don't know what in God's green earth Granny was thinking today, comparing Seth and this whole debacle to Hitler.
Just a
Okay, that's going to
gentleman
have to
named
be my
Hitler.
cue to exit
Bye,
because
Jen-Lu.
you guys,
Right.
thanks for letting me up, Jones, and you guys are doing
Bye,
a great job.
Jen-Lu.
I'm listening intently. Bye.
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 Bye, Jen-Lu.
And I do like, why do you care what our opinion is on it? But I haven't seen it to
She
have an
was
opinion on it.
showing, I was watching this live, JP. You are being way too extra. She was showing the size of the hornet she killed.
Oh, I see what you're
Oh
saying.
my
Oh,
God.
She
yeah.
was showing the size of the hornet that she killed today on her back patio.
Who was?
Girl. Savage. You tried it though. You know, JP, I almost think you may be the comedic relief for our HOA. I appreciate that for sure. We
Yeah.
need it with a lot of heavy
Yeah, that was
topics that we
good.
discuss.
That's an
That was
okay. I
hilarious.
don't know. I didn't get all
Definitely,
worked
that's a
up with Betty
violation.
either.
Savage, can you please make sure that you turn in your violation fee of free 99 to
She said the
Chasing?
hell I do now.
She's the treasurer, and she's going to be
gonna
collecting all of the violation fees.
What
We're
about
gonna have to
violations
put
for
her-
fake statement? I mean, just kidding.
Claims. We're gonna have to definitely put Savage in the timeout box for the OK symbol.
Well, there's a lot of
The
fake claims,
the HOA
Amen.
has ruled.
Yeah.
Do not
Savage
use
owes
the OK
$14.99 now.
symbol.
Okay, so Chasing has decided it's going to be $14.99.
Okay.
MK said, "Can I spank Savage as a punishment?"
Who said that?
Who said that? MK.
MK.
Oh my God.
Ultra. Oh God, he is insane. I swear.
Oh, MK Ultra, not our MK. Okay, because I wrote down MK said earlier that he wants to know. He said he needs an injunction. He was attacked by cornbread. So I don't know how that's
Oh my God.
going.
I've got it pulled up right here. We're about to watch it.
I was gonna say I have the timestamp if you need it. Okay.
Yes,
What
I
is
got it?
The comment, the Hitler comparing.
Oh,
Hitler.
we're okay. So we are moved past the OK symbol, and now we are on to.
Yeah, I'm not hovering on that
HOA
OK
meeting
symbol.
is jumping everywhere.
Listen, let me unstar that comment. I don't even need that nonsense in my back chat. No, thank you. She was showing the size of the hornet. Anybody can go back and watch. I was watching her. Actually, it wasn't live. I was watching her replay when she did it. When she showed her hand like that.
Wait. Sorry,
that's
I
a
must have
big
been
hornet.
jacking my jaws when you were saying. So that wasn't even an OK symbol. That was her showing the size of the hornet.
She was showing the size of the hornet. She was showing how big around it was.
Take the wheel. Okay. All right. White power to Hitler. Here we go. Next on the
Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
That are unaware. But the same, it could be argued.
We're going to start back a little
and they
bit
started
for
using
context.
words such as, right? And that's where you can tell that it literally consisted of, I don't know, organized effort. So thank you so much, Trixie. Shelby, I'll take a look. Thank you. That's when you knew there was something going on. I mean, nobody is stupid or unaware, but the same, it could be argued who's who, right? So let me pull this up really quick. There's this old tactic that is used, and it's used throughout history. Hate to say the guy's name, but Hitler. It's used throughout commercials. It's used throughout movies and television shows. That there's this way people do things, and it's manipulation, if you will, but it's also a tactic, right? It's an absolute tactic to control a narrative. Let me just pull up an article to explain to you all what I mean by this, and then we're going to get into the latest of what is happening, because boy, there is a lot happening. Where is that?
There's more. Hold on.
Because I'm from PA. Okay, I missed JLR's rap the other day. Any idea? Because I'm from PA, GB folk. Because I'm from PA. No, I have not been served yet. No, I've not been served. So anyway, if we go back in history, right? Do you guys remember there's this gentleman by the name of Hitler?
Yeah, we remember. You can't forget it.
Anybody remember a gentleman by that name?
I don't
Just
think of
that
him as
guy,
a gentleman personally.
Hitler.
I think of
I
him
remember
Not
there
at
was
all.
trash human, but okay.
Trash human. I agree with that. He
Evil
ain't no
incarnate,
good.
but go on.
The
a
Antichrist.
gentleman named Hitler. Very,
Mm.
very big piece of shit man named Hitler. But what Hitler did
There
is
you
Hitler
go.
was
There you
very,
go.
very targeted in his audience, right? He knew his audience. He would grasp his audience. He would use these certain techniques to get to his audience. And what he would try to do is he would silence any opposing opinion of him so that he could overload the masses with his agenda, if you will. Watching, just send a cool link to your email. Thank you.
I think that's the end of it. I think she planned to go further into it, but somebody got her off track, and it doesn't look like she goes back out.
I think
Goes
she
back into it.
into emails from there.
Yeah,
So she's saying that
the
the
tactics that
plaintiffs
this
are Hitler?
The
No.
tactics that they're using are similar to the ones that Hitler used to silence people who criticized him.
Well, are you
Oh.
dead? Are you dead? That's my question.
I mean, that's
Is your
Millions
whole
of people
family
slaughtered
gone?
because of their DNA.
millions.
I don't think that's the same here. It feels like a really big stretch,
Big jump.
and it highly inappropriate stretch straight from the HOA.
Hey, Mac, thank you for gifting that membership. I appreciate it. And
I
Steph
think.
B.
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead, babe. No. Do your thank you.
Steph B said passing around the envelopes for the HOA dues. Pay up. $20 bills. Thank you, baby. All right, go ahead. I get what she was trying
But
to
Hitler
do, but
did
that
some
was not the right
strong.
one.
It was. Hitler had some strong tactics. I think the comparison, a better comparison, would have been what Stalin, another nasty dude, said, which is that when you control the media, you control the truth. That might have been a better comparison. I don't know. I don't know why you're bringing Hitler
Yeah,
into that.
Hitler to me was. Oh my God, when I seen that name in my Discord and I went back and read what was said, I was like, no fucking way. No fucking way did she compare these crooks to Hitler. And she did. I mean, she was saying that they use the same tactics to hush
Diddy
you
would
up.
be a good comparison or something too.
I agree,
don't know.
Jesse. I understood where she was headed. I just think it was a very, very, very poor comparison.
Yeah, look, Mom said I don't see the path.
Wait, what did Money Move say? Then she played what?
Then she played I Won't Back
Down.
Down cover video, and then poof, she was gone.
Oh, I told you I didn't know the name of the song. I just sang the lyrics to you.
I just think that that's really insensitive to compare to Hitler, because there
Like what
is
you're going through to what they
yeah,
went
there
through.
is
That
no
is
comparison, babe. None. Not even the tactics to me.
who used to say that? They're waterboarding me for the truth. Like someone in the Krama community used to say that. Who was that?
Somebody used to say what?
They're waterboarding me for the truth, or I feel waterboarded. Do you remember that?
Dolly used to say it.
Did he?
He used to say no. Dolly used to say he was tired of being waterboarded by Betty content.
Waterboarded by Betty content. Oh my gosh.
Oh, BHB did
I
too.
didn't
She
see
mentioned it
shit.
recently. I just think I see what she was trying to put out. Like I see it. I see what she was trying to do.
I don't.
She's trying to say because Hitler. Maybe I don't. I
She's
don't
trying to say
know.
that they're
even
being
saying
like
Hitler,
dictators, right?
yeah, like it's somebody else gets to dictate how it
Who
how
talks,
you
how they
how you
talk.
exist in this world, kind of a thing. And Hitler, obviously, to the extreme, murdered people, millions of people at that. So that's to the extreme. But I think that's kind of where she was headed. Is, like she
But
also
people,
is
so
being criticized for that.
Potato Police said, I understood what she's saying. It's the manipulation and the trying to silence people who have an opposing opinion. It's not that Hitler wasn't trying to.
Hitler didn't
He wasn't
manipulate.
trying to eliminate. He did manipulate. He wasn't trying to
thought he just
eliminate people because of their
cut 'em
opinions. He
off.
was trying to eliminate people because of their fucking bloodline.
Yeah.
So that I feel like that's a completely separate comparison. But
Controlling the narratives.
I don't know the.
It's a
I
very
don't
bad
no, because
analogy.
he wasn't trying to control. He was trying to control the world. He was trying to control the races of people.
Thank you. Yeah,
but I don't
thank
know
you,
the whole
Texas
context
girl.
of her video. It's weird. That's weird.
I don't know. I feel like I see what she was trying to do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I need to simmer on it some more. But I feel like her saying, like, the control that they're trying to have, like Nunya just said, over who says what, who speaks about what. Like, I get that part of it. I see where she was trying to go with that. But I think it's a very, very
No, I don't think she was doing it as
insensitive.
a race thing, Truth.
No,
I don't think that at all.
not at all. I just think that it was
It was
a
just a
poor
very
choice
poor
of words.
analogy. Yeah, absolutely. Like there's so many other people you could have quoted who have a similar stance.
Yeah, this ain't
against
about
not being
race.
silenced.
No, this isn't
but
about race to me. But
yeah,
JP brought up Savage's white power sign, and it just
led into Hitler from there.
it led into Hitler because damn, shitty people be shitty. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you could talk about the book 1984. You could talk about Orwell. You could talk about Stalin. There are just a lot of other comparisons about controlling the media and controlling the truth, controlling the narratives. But what Hitler was trying to do was control race, control the world, the population,
He was the devil.
completely eliminate.
Yeah,
people.
using
That's
Hitler was a
different.
mistake, but discussing tactics of people like TikTok Tony would be interesting. Absolutely, because I know what tactics she's referring to. And I understand it. And I'm not saying, when I say just shut the fuck up, stop
I'm no
fighting
scholar,
for
really.
your right to continue to fuck with these parents. That isn't me saying that the crooks or the other side, what I don't even know, what's it called? Something media?
At night media.
No,
Or even a Hitler quote. Hitler has a quote of, if you tell a
Uptown
lie
media? Is it at
night
media.
At night media? Yeah. At
um
night media? No, they're still all really fucked up in what they're trying to do right now. But just because they're fucked up in what
allegedly
they're trying to do,
in Jones's opinion, for legality purposes.
even though in my opinion I find what they're trying to do to be fucked up, I also find y'all trying to fight it to be just as fucked up.
But you could even use a Hitler quote, which he does quote, that if you tell a lie loud enough and often enough, people believe it. So, I mean, you could even go with that.
What's the other one you told me today? It was a Stalin quote. It wasn't
It was
a Hitler
Stalin.
quote,
If you control, Stalin, if you control the media, you can control the truth, which goes along with like Orwell's theory of like thought police and things like that.
No, you're not blocked, Davis fam. I try
gotta
not to
get a
block
drink. I'll be
people. The
right
only
back.
people that get blocked over here are trolls. Davis fam, you're not blocked. She said, I don't know if I'm blocked, but BHB brought up Hitler this morning, which is why Granny did.
I mean, but do we see the logic there? Oh, Betty said it, so we
I
should
know.
say it. Like,
Is she really the like our role model? We
like
should
Betty
be
is our
following?
role model that we're trying to emulate things after? Because I thought it was pretty established a long time ago that like we're not trying to follow the madness that is the things that she does. I mean, maybe things have changed. I don't know. I was just,
Yeah, she's saying, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just letting you know why. Hey, we.
I appreciate that, but yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I don't know if you're going to talk about SF. I don't know if
Sure.
we're going
Let's
to
talk
kind
about
of
him.
transition out of Hitler and white power
Let's let
into.
Wee's got something I think she
Oh,
wants
sorry.
to add
Go ahead, Wee.
into it, and then we'll move on to SF.
Me. Me. I'll be really quick because it's a whole complicated and very deep and vast subject that really, if anybody, no matter how measured and careful they are, try to have these very personal and wide-ranging discussions on YouTube, it's a rough ride. I think we all know that. And so discussing something as difficult as, the Holocaust and various other things, never wars, I mean, I could literally pick 100 subjects off the top of my head. I honestly believe, in my opinion, allegedly, take a shot, everybody, that Granny was trying to articulate her version of what she sees as the big lie and the fire hosing of falsehoods. Unfortunately, her articulation of that wasn't great, so it confuses people. Also, the analogy itself was a bit clunky, and people also forget that she does have a heritage that she has explained herself. That means she is very personally invested in that. She has also taken a lot of very direct hate on her own background. So I would imagine that that's why something like that would be partly personal and partly philosophical. That is just the way I see it. Was it a great analogy? Was it a great
I think you're putting a
teaching
lot into
moment?
that. Yeah,
Look,
no one was thinking at all that she was saying it in a racial way.
Oh,
Here,
no, not
Right.
me.
some people do, because that has been a thing. If you've watched any of this chaos over the past 3 years or so between a whole little group of people, it's not just Granny and BJ, that does become a recurring theme. And I think that's why it's something that's very sensitive for Granny, or certainly seems to come across that way to me. That's what I have seen. So it's just the way that I see it. Was it the best? Probably not. And yes, whatever happened that she then had to disappear, also probably not great timing, but that's just my opinion. I think she was trying to tell a bigger thing, but hadn't maybe really prepared the research behind it to be able to go into it. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. I'm not making apologies for anybody or anything. I'm just saying that's my interpretation. I've bored everyone into a coma. Great.
You didn't bore me. I don't know. I don't know her intentions.
Well, that's also true. That is also true. The other part of this is that, I mean, if some of the players within this also have their own complicated race relations background. There you go. That's the most articulate way I can say that. that maybe that is how that person feels. Again, I don't know. That maybe there is something that they feel is behind that. I honestly don't know that to be the case, but I can see where they would maybe interpret it as that. Just saying, if you don't know, it's one of the most frustrating things about YouTube. When you've been around a bit, everybody knows stuff, right? You'll see stuff every day. Even if you watch YouTube, you're not seeing everything all the time. Nobody can be capable of that. But then when you're talking about stuff that goes back over years with people, there's a whole complicated mess that goes behind that too. And unfortunately, when people are maybe very passionate or at a raw point, they just don't articulate well. So I hope that Granny takes a moment to think about that and reconsider.
Me too, Gina.
All that.
I'm not high. I'm not high, but I'm confused as fuck.
What? Why have I confused you? What have I done?
I don't know. I'm just lost.
Well, I don't really. I don't really see these are lost though. That's why That's why I'm lost. I'm like, how can you not see what she was saying? It's not that hard to break down. I mean,
we saw what, but we stated that, like, we saw what she was saying. We're just making the observation that it's a horrible comparison. Like, no, I don't feel like anybody misinterpreted what she was trying to get at. So we fully grasp that.
I don't know. I think there's.
I think I kind of knew what she was trying to get out.
At
least I thought I did.
At least up here on panel, we were claiming we understood that, but we just know that it's not a great comparison at all.
There you go. That's an interpretation thing, because that's not the way it was coming across to me. That's why I came up. I was like, "What do you not understand?" And I'm like, "What? Everybody has sort of had their own little turn into explaining these things, because we all see it. You see it, the fire hosing of nonsense that goes around the place. Not our nonsense, but you know what I mean."
Good night,
So
one
yeah,
shot.
wonderful.
Well, I don't know why. So Chasen says, I don't think anyone is lost, but maybe we took it as people were seeing it as racist, but we said that multiple times. We don't think it's a racist thing.
Yeah. Well, what you don't see as racist, maybe she sees as xenophobic. Maybe that is her interpretation. Granny's, not mine.
So you think that Granny was trying to put off that they're being xenophobic towards her because of her background with this injunction?
I know that some of the stuff that has gone into the things prior to this has touched on that side of things. It has. So I don't know whether, I honestly don't know, because I'm not telling tales out of school. I don't speak to anybody behind the scenes that you don't see here. But she has mentioned it several times recently also. So maybe that is her interpretation.
That part of the reason for the injunction is because they're coming at her for her race?
It's
I'm
certainly
genuinely
attached.
lost here, You're gonna have to, I guess you're gonna have to slow walk me through it.
It's attached to one of the plaintiffs, Brittany J in particular.
But it's not in this injunction. You're just talking about prior bad acts.
Prior bad acts, and then also prior bad acts of others would also fit into that. And I suppose it's not how we take things is not how everybody else take things. So that's just the way I saw it. That's all. I don't know.
Yeah, I was with little DD. I didn't think it was that. Okay.
I stepped away for a minute, so I'm completely lost. I had to go grab my bud. I'm just saying.
That doesn't help me, Joneson.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I like to step away. My God. Okay, good talk.
Well, thank you for coming up, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just, it's the same on all sides though, and this is where I'll try to be fair, because I have to catch myself doing that for everybody, because there's a lot of people I have distaste for, disdain, and I have to constantly check myself and be like, well, where does that come from? And if just how I see a thing might not be how Deet sees it or how Joneson sees it, we all have our own personal interactions, and I think that's where the personal part, as much as we say to take feelings out of it, etc., the feelings are there for us. It's just how you manage that, I suppose.
I agree.
Melissa, I will happily show that elsewhere. I deliberately am not putting it out here because that will start a whole raft of issues that nobody wants to get into. I can promise you that. It will be an unholy mess. Oh, God.
You know, I don't think she's lying about being Jewish. Oh gosh, this went completely left. No, my whole thing was it was insensitive to use that scenario because to me, genocide and what Hitler did was so like there is no comparison. Even still today, there is no comparison to what he did. So to me, that's where my mind was. But no, for me, it wasn't race. Hold on, Deet said, "Don't leave yet." She's coming back. Morgan called, so she had to mute.
Well, the other part to that is that before Hitler did all the really dramatic stuff, he did spend 2 decades doing a lot before he got to the really dramatic stuff. So when people explain things like the big lie or any of the propaganda techniques that are used from any of those large situations, Stalin, any of the other, I mean, the list is endless really, that you need to be very careful whenever you're talking about it. Otherwise it does have this reaction where everybody's either, well, don't mention the H word, or freaks out, or the message gets lost. And I'm doing a bit of that myself. Trying to help, but it's obviously not going anywhere.
I think I get what you're saying. You're saying the history does matter between them two.
Right. I'm with Gemini Slacker on that. I don't think that was the case either.
Yeah, no. Copa, what? Hold on. No, there was something else you said about laughing at someone's family member passing. Who did that? Sorry, I just seen that and I was like, "Whoa!" I don't recall anybody over here doing that. If that's what you're talking about, yeah, that's exactly it, Melissa.
I think our HOA time for that subject is over. And
is everybody over it?
Yeah, I think the last topic is just the SF part.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
so that I'm aware of, his name was mentioned in one of the lines, one of the paragraphs of the suit, but he is not one of the named defendants, right?
Right. Not yet.
So why did he then say he was filing something?
I don't know.
I think it's because they said they were moving, like it was going to Virginia as well. And he just assumed he's part of that.
And the screenshots from today on the Twitters that some of that organization have displayed have certainly
Yeah,
alluded to that.
let me go to it. Hold on.
Nonsense. We did not send out notifications. I think it was only a 30-minute notification. Nobody had to RSVP, and no, nobody has received any threats of a marching band. We're okay. Just loud families in the background, perhaps. That's it.
One
We're
of
okay
the
with that.
funniest things I have ever seen was we had a very terrible health minister over here who was imposing some very unfortunate policies. One of the most beautiful moments of protest I have seen was the health minister was leaving a building and walking out to the car, and a man with a very large tuba followed him, and they were at a very safe distance away. There was no threat, nothing like that. And it's one of the funniest things you've ever seen, because talk about a dude not knowing what to do, because he was just confused AF. It was hilarious. And it was beautiful because it was just smartly done.
I was trying to figure out what Copa was talking about. So I don't know, other than what he put out was what, an anti-slap or something, and it won't be seen until the what's it called, injunction. I don't know why I cannot remember that. Until the injunction is approved or not approved, SF's anti-slap is not even going to be looked at, from what I understand. So this is. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to read it. It says, At Night has initiated dialogues with various divisions of the FBI. Why are y'all doing that? Y'all are doing way too much, tying up all these. I don't even know if they're actually doing it. I think they might just be talking shit. But if you are doing it, you tying up all these law enforcement hands for nothing. Specifically, those in Tulsa, Tampa, Philly, New Haven, and Jackson, Mississippi. We are fully cooperating with the FBI concerning the serious threats and doxing we have encountered. Have they been doxed? I don't know.
I know I've seen one party repeatedly doxing people, but that would be one of the plaintiffs rather than anyone else.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah. Yeah, they have been doxing. The actors involved have escalated their actions, making severe threats and engaging in multiple overt acts that pose significant risks. This situation has compelled At Night, in conjunction with our legal representation across Philly, New Haven, Florida, Los Angeles, New York, Washington, D.C., multiple regions in Virginia, Boston, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin, Texas, to formally request intervention from federal law enforcement agencies. We held several conference calls with various agencies this morning. We seek to address these threats with the
we've moved on
utmost.
to SF.
Yeah, we seek to. Yeah. Hold on. We seek to address these threats with the utmost urgency and authority the law allows. At Night, we'll pursue these bad actors both.
They're using our words.
These bad actors both civilly and criminally. The threats and actions have amplified over the past 72 hours, and now we will respond accordingly in multiple states. What do y'all think about that?
I think it, for me, I'm not completely disagreeing with some of what he said, but also, like, it just feels like he's inserting himself in something and continue. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought, isn't he the guy who was supposed to bring some kind of lawsuit against BHB with the Layla's video situation or something like that? That never happened. Like, I feel like he comes out and people
appreciate him for certain work that he's done, but that I know of, he's not a lawyer. He's a private investigator. So I just really struggle with him being involved in this when, like, it feels to me like he's inserting himself into it, but I don't know enough about him to even know what his involvement would or could be. It feels like he wants to be in a lawsuit or in an injunction or whatever you want to
It
call
does
it.
seem like he wants to be, like, doing everything he can to be put in it. And I did hear, I don't remember, I've watched so many live streams, somebody was talking about us and others bringing up the history of SF, and this is his history. Like, that is what he does. He likes to insert himself even when he's not wanted to the, and that's why when Kylie Rodney's brought up, that's used as a reference because her family did not want him and he would not leave them alone and he would not stop trying to speak on their behalf. So it seems like he does want trouble sometimes. I don't know why. Oh, nonsense. Sorry, babe.
Whoops, that was me. Can I explain to Nanya what I was saying in the chat just a minute ago, and then I'll hop down. So it's not necessarily in regards to SF, but the post you were just reading about At Night Media and the threats that they're claiming are being done. What I was saying about that potentially being bait, this is just my opinion. I have no proof of this, but in the exhibits, there are letters from Nick's parole saying that he cannot work with law enforcement. The reason, what I was thinking is, was it potentially to bait people to make calls to his parole again, because they're saying in those posts that, you know, they're working with law enforcement. But here's my caution to everybody. Please do not call anybody. Please do not get involved. Obviously, the parole board is paying attention, but, you know, people will amp up and start running with emotion and not thinking. And would it give it more gravity to see they're calling again? We don't know who's actually making the post for At Night Media. He's got a partner named Hong. We don't know who it is, but that's my line of thought.
Gross.
I feel like they've been baiting people from the beginning. Like, I agree with JP too.
What'd JP say?
She said, let's not beat around the bush. SF is inserting himself like a dirty butt plug, and I agree with her because I'm still waiting on SF's lawsuit against Betty in the Layla Santinello case. I'm still waiting on some of the shit that he was going to do in the Kylie Rodney case. Like, bro,
that's what I'm saying. You got a history.
Where is
of
your
it, bro.
follow through?
But I do agree with nonsense about the baiting. I feel like that's what they came over here to do in the first place. And I think some of the creators over here bit, and that sucks.
I don't know. I don't know if all. I agree that a lot of Nick's intention, like a lot of their intentions, but my point is I think that Seth is ignorant to these things because he's not from social media. And it's very hard to wrap your head around all this until you've been in it a while. And so you have these, you know, baiters just stringing you along, and he's along for the ride 1,000%.
Deets, I think that they're exhausting him.
Horrible. Oh, for sure. They have to be.
I think they're emotionally exhausting him. I think they are
1000%.
intentionally. I genuinely believe that they are emotionally exhausting. I've always said that all these things can be true at once. He can have problematic behaviors on his own, going through the worst time, and opportunists leech onto that and grind it for all it's worth. That's, in my opinion, and I think they have
people
been.
can exploit that. People
Absolutely.
can exploit his outbursts and, you know, things that he shouldn't be saying. It goes all around.
Absolutely. Agreed. Yep. On the SF part, it all confuses me. I've been confused. I wasn't a big anything there because it's all been confusing to me. So I just try to tune that out. But I wanted to just mention that on the post that they made because people have been running around like, oh, he can't work with law enforcement. Well, let people that should be handling that, like his parole officer handles
Well,
whatever.
if they read the exhibit though from the parole board, it states he can't unless without direct permission. So he can
Yeah.
get permission to work from the parole board to work with law
Well,
enforcement. And then there's the other one, but it says on there without direct permission. He has to get that direct permission.
if there's people
first.
running around threatening them and they are experiencing this, there's not anything that I saw included. I mean, the honk stuff in the window is a little odd, but I didn't see police report and follow up there, so maybe that's to come. But yeah, there's some questionable things. If they are receiving threats, you can't stop somebody from working with law enforcement to protect yourself either. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to add. Have a great night,
That
ladies.
makes perfect
Have a
sense.
good
Thank
one,
you.
Nonsense.
Bye,
Good night.
ladies.
Yeah, the injunction doesn't come. Yeah, but we still have to remember it's not even been it's just in the preliminary phase. It hasn't even been proved.
I'm not worried at all. Why is everybody
All that
tripping? They're
stuff.
trying to take your speech away. They're trying to stop you
They're
from
not.
talking. No, just don't be a shitty human being. And if you start to be a shitty human being, maybe self-reflect every once in a while so you can cut that shit out.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Rico.
Rico suave.
Rico suave.
Rico.
Do it,
You know
But
what?
I
Nona.
do think that those claims of enterprise,
something.
like we hear, okay, nobody on YouTube has used the word enterprise prior to this, but do we not see creators making these connections all the time and saying, oh, this person's working with this person and that person's working with that person? This group has just went and done it on a legal filing with the
That's
appropriate
it.
verbiage.
Yes. And I think
And
I think just somebody said so just because they were baited, that gives them an excuse. No, I agree with you.
Nobody's
No, it
giving
doesn't
anybody
give
an
them an
excuse.
excuse. Be smarter about things, try to step outside your current situation and look at it from a different point of view, and maybe you'll see you're being baited. I think that's up that's up to each individual themselves. But no, there's no excuse just because they were baited. No, that's what I've been saying this whole time. They came over here, they had an agenda, they baited these creators. Some creators fell for it, and it's just went from there. And when you fuck around with criminals and crooks, in my opinion, allegedly fraudsters, this is the kind of shit that comes from it.
Yeah, I wanted to say, Melissa said baited. OMG, take some accountability. We make our own choices. I
That's true too.
can see both sides, right? I can absolutely say yes, a lot of this was baited. However, on the flip side, I can also say people made a choice to take the bait. And now, like a fishing hook, they're on the line, and either you're going to get reeled in or you're going to get thrown back out.
Yeah,
Right, and I'm
heard
specifically saying, like I have talked about this before about the baiting emails I get, or people send me a screenshot of this or that, and it's like, okay, I can discredit that, prove that that's not legit, things like that. It is up to us as creators whether we take the bait that is presented in front of us or not. Now, sometimes we take it out of ignorance, like we don't realize that, oh, that's bait, and that happens to a lot of us too. This is
they
a
came
messy,
here for
messy
a
place.
purpose, though. Nick, the whole thing, it's for it's their own agenda.
And they've been telling us that from day one, have they
I
not?
mean, they haven't really been shy about it. And that's why I said, like, all the streams I've done leading up to this, no, I don't expect somebody to listen to me and my snake ass and take what I say as like the God's honest truth, or my opinion matters more than someone else's. But I was just trying to bring attention to because the people weren't seeing what they were doing. And because I was on the outside, because I had already removed myself from Sebastian's case, I was seeing all of it. And it was like, I don't know, just like you got to be smarter about it.
And then I want to touch on Nonsense's comment. She says, I have a whiteboard connecting dots and need to show the other side of it. I think that is my exact point. We can connect these dots all day long. That's essentially what they're doing over here. this granny hopped on to this panel and was discussing the same thing, and then both of those creators were now in the chat over here of this creator discussing the exact same thing. That's how they connected those dots and made that enterprise.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of us do on this platform. Do we know for a fact that any of these dots that have been connected are actually connections?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they have something from behind the scenes that connects these people? Or is it just like, oh, I see the panel here and that they're moving here and shifting here, and that's how they made the connections?
I don't think they have anything in the background, because why
No, I
would they
think
need
it's
to
all
come
out.
out here and fluff with a bunch of false claims against these creators?
Well, I don't think they're all false claims.
Well,
Well,
some of
no,
them,
not
yeah. I
all
don't.
of them. I'm saying there's a few that are legit, a few, but there's a lot that are false, especially when you look at
In your opinion,
Tony in my opinion, Tony against Granny and Barbecue Lady. Sure, they did do some of the stuff he's claiming, but a lot of it they didn't do.
Well, see, I saw when I was reading through them, I didn't take them all necessarily as false claims, but they are very amplified claims. They're very
absolutely.
intentional with what they're saying to get you to feel the way that they feel about those claims. And
Right.
and
They
that
put
doesn't
you
mean
on
they're
point.
necessarily false, but they are very amped up in
I
some
could see that.
instances.
Yeah, like Hulk
Night
out.
perfectly.
Good night, perfectly.
Oh, you're way behind in chat, Shawty.
Me?
Did you say good night, fur baby?
Perfectly.
Oh,
I didn't know fur baby went to bed. Good night, fur baby.
Oh, good night, perfectly. I thought you said fur baby. I was like, oh my god, you're like
Good
30
night,
minutes
mama.
behind. No, I just think I don't know.
I think it's very
It's too much.
Petty. I think the sad part about it is I don't think she's actually leading this. Personally, I don't think she is the leader of this particular injunction. She said, just think of all the craziness Betty has said about the Proudfoots and Bower Socks, but she's leading this. Unbelievable.
No.
Oh, I don't think she's.
I don't think she's leading this at all.
That reminds me what I was saying too. No, I don't think she's leading anything, but what I was saying, Deets, was I don't think there's much in the background that they would have on these creators that we're not seeing because of the little bit of fluff that was in the what's it called again?
In the injunction.
That thing. God,
Yeah.
I cannot remember it. But it's like I think that they see creators going panel to panel together. Like,
yeah, and that's
Granny,
how they piece those dots
with the same subs too. So it's like that they're getting their panties in a wad thinking about it. But no, I don't think Betty is the leader.
Yeah, I definitely think she just. I agree with Center. She just latched onto it like she does. B Fergs, can you highlight her comment? Because I think that's very true.
Let me see. B Fergs.
The cause and effect of our words and actions are what most of us learned in 4th grade. There's consequences for talking smack that isn't true.
And that's what I'm talking about in that injunction. There is a whole lot in that injunction that was stated. Like those claims that are stated in that injunction were said, and they give you the video, the timestamp to go and listen to it. Or they show you the screenshot of the thumbnails and community posts and things like that.
Absolutely. Go through it yourself and look.
Yeah, the intention behind it is absolutely open for interpretation. But it's still there.
Yeah.
Melissa
and I
said,
think oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, read that for me, Nunya.
Oh, I don't know what you have. Okay. A legitimate claim has become extremely blurry from all of the extra stuff that does not deserve to be in there. 1000%.
That's exactly
and I think
what
there are
it
only
is.
2 small legitimate claims inside of the entire thing, but they are still 2 legitimate claims. So, I mean, if so actually maybe we can ask the chat that, because I am curious to know other people's opinion on it. If only one person in the entire set of plaintiffs got their section approved, right? They had legit receipts and they legit, like, whatever they needed to prove their claim.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Would
Amber.
would you feel any differently about this? If only one of them, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's somebody
Are
you
you
like or
saying
dislike.
hypothetically if
on.
it was
Redo
filed
this.
separately? If it was filed separately? The
No,
Don't get a
plaintiffs,
I'm
redo.
saying
okay.
everybody is on there together right now, right? I think there's
Right.
6 or 7 plaintiffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. So if you had 6 or 7 plaintiffs, if the judge says, hey, plaintiffs, I don't know, 1 through 6, you're thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And we have Nanya disappeared. We have like if we just had, say hypothetically, Seth and Julia's claims.
She's still here.
I know, but she stopped talking, so she probably got a call or something.
She's behind Chico. I don't know what I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't know what she's trying to say.
I've been waiting because I'm gonna try to drop off. I've been waiting because I'm like, I don't want to interrupt.
No, you have to
go
interrupt
ahead.
us.
I'm
We'll
sorry.
ask Nanya when she comes back. Go ahead.
I'm sorry for ruining everyone's happiness. I hope that it can be
You did
understood
not.
that I was
You
just
didn't
trying
ruin
to
anyone's
explain what I thought. That is it. That is all. It's
You're fine.
nothing. I'm sorry that that has upset some of the chat. That was not my intention.
No, they'll be all
We
right.
gotta ignore the chat.
I know
They'll
they
be
love
all
me.
right.
I'm sure they'll all be sending me little cards later.
I will go back and listen because, like I said in the back chat, like I was trying to understand where you were following because I was lost on your train of thought of what you were getting to because that's not where we were going with it. We were just going with it, like this isn't a good comparison. It had nothing to do with the deeper other things. But I will go back and listen to what you said when
I
I was
will
on
too. I
phone.
will too.
I think the fact that she got cut off too didn't help because I think there was going to be some more. That was what I was picking up. I thought that was all leading somewhere, and then it didn't. So that's why I'm stating those are just my interpretations of what I saw. It could be something entirely different, and I'll have just pissed off everybody for no reason. But that's the way I saw it.
You are okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one, love. Thank you for sticking around.
And I'm going to kill Dates later for making me sit there for 10 uncomfortable minutes while she went off. I'm like, oh my God,
sorry.
this is awful.
Hey, Marshall's coming home this weekend from deployment, and so Morgan had called, and she wasn't going to be able to go, and she got time off. So we're just trying to like figure out the logistics of traveling to the base, getting on the base with the baby, and all those things. And so I couldn't not take that call. So I apologize.
No, I understand, love. I understand. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye, Lee.
My bowl was
Okay,
calling me. I
Nanya,
had to go
we
get the
need-
lead.
You are back. We
Okay,
need you to
clarify.
restate what you were saying.
Yeah. So let's just say there's 7 plaintiffs, right? The judge says all 6 of you, you're thrown out. Doesn't matter who the one is, but all 6 of you, you haven't proved it. I don't agree with it. Get over yourselves and stop tattling the teacher, right? Okay. And then the last one, number 7, he says you have some legitimate claims, and we're going to go ahead and approve this. Right? Okay. Do you agree if the judge says any of them are approved? I guess that's maybe my question. If any of them get approved by the judge, would you is your response like, oh God, freedom of speech?
No.
Or would you trust that judge has maybe seen what was presented and is like, yeah, this went too far, I'm putting this in place?
That I wouldn't be like brokenhearted, oh God, free speech, I'd be like,
go back
oh,
to,
there must be some merit to it.
Let me pull up the injunction. They're not asking for a shit ton. That's the thing. What they're actually asking for is very minimal. Very minimal.
They
want
you
kind of
to
what you
shut
were
the
going
fuck
back
up.
to. Yeah, just shut up. Like you were stating earlier.
And I heard somebody, I don't know, again, I don't know what channel it was on. Somebody said something about we have to defend ourselves, or I have to defend myself. And it's
Dolly?
like, it might, I don't
I'm
remember
fighting
who
for
it
your
was,
freedoms, man.
but I was thinking, no, like when I heard them say it, I was thinking, no, you don't. because defending yourself is only, again, fighting for the continuance of doing all the chaos you've been doing in the case. Like, why are y'all fighting? So is it pride? Is it ego? Shut
No, I
your
think they
shit
really believe they
down.
did nothing wrong. Like that they've said and done nothing wrong throughout
That's mind
this.
blowing to me, because even I know I did shit wrong at the
We
beginning.
all have. We all
I
have.
went back immediately when that shit dropped. I was like, scoop, 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 private, 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 private. Like, yeah.
So this is what they are asking for. The plaintiffs seek to restore the status quo by preventing the defendants from continuing their malicious online campaign. The injunction would prohibit further defamation, threats, and harassment, thus restoring the plaintiffs' ability to conduct their professional and personal lives without the looming threats and reputational harm caused by the defendants. And here is, then they go into the clear right to relief. Hang on, let me scroll down a little further. The public. So this is what they're asking for: restrained from further engagement in defamation, harassment, or dissemination of false information about the plaintiffs. Stop talking shit on us. Included but not limited to defamatory statements, online harassment, and any communication or publication designed to harm the plaintiffs' reputations or incite violence or harassment against them. Defendants and any persons or entities acting by, for, or through them, including but not limited to online creators, so the people connected to you, also is what they're asking for. And then they're asking like mods and stuff. Like they're asking defendants shall remove any and all defamatory statements, videos, live streams, and posts about the plaintiff from any public or private social media platforms, websites, blah, blah, blah. You guys know all that. Then they're asking for the crowdsourcing stuff. I already know that. I'm not going to go into it. They want them to inform their audiences, basically, that they're not going to be doing this, that they're going to cease and desist and stop speaking on them, basically.
Okay,
So
I want to
really,
speak now. I'm ceasing and desisting. Okay.
ceasing and desisting.
I'm ceasing and desisting. I will not ever again. There's my part.
But can we clarify? They're not saying don't ever talk about us, or
they're
if
not
you
talking about
don't
the
agree.
case.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you
Stop
don't agree with
defaming.
us and support Seth, say nothing, right? They're saying when it comes to the case, you do not
Right.
need to,
Attack.
harass them. You don't need to go, follow them around, cyber stalking, whatever you want to call it. You don't need to defame them. So to me, that what my mind turns that into is I could absolutely still do a stream going over an interview that maybe Seth has done, and I can point out that that's not what he said in an original interview. So that's changed. That's interesting. And then I could move on from there. I think that they could still potentially do that. But could they go and cover every single interview Seth goes on, or everything that Seth does from here on out? No, that's considered cyber stalking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to file an injunction, wouldn't you go directly after the persons who made outright statements about you first, rather than those who are?
Yeah.
But they are, like, if you go through the exhibits and what they're alleging and their declarations and where they're leading you back to, that's what they're doing. Now, I do think it's very telling where they started. Absolutely. They started in Pennsylvania. Their reasonings behind it, if you read some of the Pennsylvania laws that they're stating in there, they do. I do think it's very telling where they're starting. And do I think we're actually going to see this in other states? I don't. But I've been wrong about a lot of shit on YouTube before.
Yeah. Miss Leah Dietz is.
Oh, I am. Do you need something added to it, Miss Leah? 10 minutes.
Yeah, Zoots and Boots. I do agree with that. I think you can say anything that you want, but you have to know how to say it. And I think that makes a really big difference. Like flat out saying somebody is a pedophile without them having any convictions, without them having
or alluding to the fact that they're
absolutely
a pedophile.
Right. Or alluding to the fact that they're a pedophile is absolutely defamation.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest, like he doesn't have pedophilia.
Well, that's not
Yes,
even.
there are
I
no.
mean, let's.
What?
Yeah,
But
well, I mean, sorry, maybe I should have used a better example. I wasn't going to go down that route
Yes.
because then it's
Okay. He
open
does
for.
have those charges.
no, he
No,
does not.
no,
He
no,
does
no,
not
not at
have
all.
those
No,
charges at all.
Whew. I was
no,
like,
sorry.
whether he was in a relationship with someone younger or not, he doesn't have those charges on him. And
Mhm.
I think it's
And
unfair to put it on him.
we can do simple math. I get that, but that is something that,
Absolutely.
if somebody wanted to hold him accountable to that, to be able to call him that, I feel like you're going down a completely different avenue. And this is one of the reasons Gavel and I stopped going over the interviews, was because of where that conversation was headed. And it's so easy to just not, because it's very easy to go into territory you don't want to go into or have
Yeah,
no business going into.
yeah. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry. Kate the Great had a question.
Okay, let me see. Kate the Great. Where you at? Kate the
Like the
Magnificent. There you are.
bestest.
The amazing.
So if they want
if
them
they
to
want,
remove all defamatory videos, who decides which videos are considered defamatory? Do they have a list of yes?
well,
That's
they
the
have a
exhibits,
lot of,
right? Deets?
in a lot of the
Quote.
exhibits, they have linked live streams and stuff. So I'm guessing that's probably where they would start. Is there more than that? I don't know. But that's probably definitely the ones they want me to, or want them to start with, is the ones they linked. The defamation.
Yeah, Zoots and Boots. That
Uh,
is an excellent
yeah.
example.
I might.
Examples. I might think this. I may consider that. I think behavior sounds like it may be similar to XYZ. This may be problematic. Learn to
Learn to
word
word
better.
better. Yeah. And that's initially what we've been saying the whole time is like you can still have your opinions, but you can have your opinions respectfully or as respectfully as possible. It doesn't mean you have to go out here. Like you can have an opinion that you think it's strange that somebody was with somebody way younger, right? Have that opinion. Calling them a pedophile ain't gonna be it. Like that's
Yeah.
not gonna do it.
Yeah, like we said, you don't have to jump to that. Naming him as that is too far. Simply repeating the age would be clear enough for people to understand.
Absolutely.
And it is, and that's it goes of the opinion versus accusation. And I feel like a lot of times we forget that accusations are definitely or are a hell of a lot stronger than just an opinion. We can come out here and say, just as an example, wait, you got married at this time and you both were this age? That's just not adding up. That would be completely different than coming out and saying, "Look at this pedophile." Like, it's completely different.
Yeah, Zoots, I agree. Kate, please don't make me defend her. Please, I beg of you. I really don't want to.
Are
Not
you
tonight.
gonna say a lot of the shit we say about Betty is defamatory?
We're gonna go there.
She's
Going
delusional as
there.
fuck.
Okay,
She lives in a
here's the thing. So it says,
reality.
but I'm more specifically about her comment. It says, if it were up to Betty, anything even remotely negative about her is considered defamatory to her. I strongly disagree. I think that there have been multiple people over the years that have crossed the lines, right? And while I believe she is wild in her thought processes, her behaviors are very problematic. So I really dislike you, Kate, right now for making me defend it. There are absolutely some of the things that have happened to her are wrong. And I do not think that she considers everything somebody says negative about her as defamatory. If that was the case, there would be a lot more defamation lawsuits from her when there have been a lot of people covering every word she says for years.
Mhm.
So That's my thought. And again, I dislike you strongly for making me even remotely have to do it.
You are now just Kate the Great, not
Well,
Kate the
I'm
Bestest to
still gonna
Nunya.
say she's delusional. She lives in a warped reality. Things ain't setting right somewhere.
Nunya's begging for her own GoFundMe, it sounds like.
Lord.
Or not Nunya, Jones. We keep
Right?
calling you Nunya, Jones.
I know. It's because I'm the morality around here.
That's what is
I'm a
begging
high
for her
horse.
own.
That used to just be Nunya's title.
There
Nunya came
is
back with the hall monitor pass too. Dang, she got intense.
People do go at Betty hard all the time.
and don't get me
I
wrong.
do one every
There
now
are
and
some
then.
people that do cover
Mhm.
her, that cover her with a certain level of where they focus on her problematic issues and the things that she says without
About
focusing on
Casey.
her as a person or attacking her as a person. They focus on her behaviors, not her as a person. So there are a lot of creators who can do that. However, there are far more creators who cannot focus on her behaviors. They have to focus on her as a person. And that's where they are now emotionally involved and they cross the line, in my
I agree
opinion.
And
with
they
that.
can't get
I
out of
agree with
it. They're
that.
like
Yeah.
stuck in this weird Groundhog
And it
Day
puts you
of
in a hateful,
material.
like it puts you in a hateful state of mind, like an angry state of mind, to be constantly going over Betty. If you allow every single thing she says to affect you in that way, you're going to end up just being a sad, angry person all the time. I found myself being that person back with Quentin Simon, and I said, nope, no more. And I relieved myself from it. Some
Yeah.
people just don't do that, though. Mystery
So
has
I
an
wanted,
HOA question.
well, hang on. I want to stick on Kate's because she's still on the same topic. Then I'll go back to Mysteries. So
Oh,
she says, I
okay,
don't
let
watch
me start.
Barbecue Lady, but I remember a time when Granny actually defended Betty when Betty was getting a lot of heat. And that goes back to understanding how this is filed with multiple plaintiffs. Betty's declaration really has very, very little to do with Granny, except for the
Absolutely.
fact that Granny offers a space for some of the other, well,
People.
especially for like Barbecue Lady and other people in the 50 Does, kind of connecting her to the enterprise because she goes along with it. But Betty's claims are very minimal towards Granny, and that's where I think it gets muddy. Is you have all these different plaintiffs making different declarations to these two defendants, but also in their declarations, they're also covering 50 unnamed does too. So it's not all directed just at Granny and Barbecue.
She said, "Thank you. She's got you."
Oh, you're still the bestest to me.
And
What
I
was
agree.
Mr.
Yep. When you nitpick everything pertaining to Betty, the real foul shit she does isn't as alarming because you're just so used to hearing everything about her is alarming. Like it takes away from the seriousness of some of her legit serious actions.
Yeah, and her actions that she has done over in Tennessee against the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks completely, like I 100% support the actions that they are taking against her in by the law, right?
Me too.
1000% she should be called out. She should be, demanded to act a certain way, and whatever consequences come if she doesn't agree to that, that's on her, not my business, like, not my circus,
You're
fine.
not Bennett and you're not in it. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not, my name is Bennett and I'm not in it.
I'm not in it.
But like I can support what they're doing and know that her actions are wrong while still acknowledging that like some of the stuff that was done to her is wrong.
Yeah,
Both
I
can
can
exist.
too.
Going back to Mystery's question, if the videos were unlisted, would that be enough, and would it affect YouTube pay versus deleting or privating it? Anything put on unlisted or privated is going to take monetization off of it because it shouldn't be incurring views, but it does take the monetization off of it. Now, it doesn't remove what you've already made, whether it be super chats or AdSense that you've already made on that before you unlist it or private it. The difference with unlisting it, I don't think that would be enough because I could send you a link to an unlisted video and you could still go and view it. So if people have the links to the videos, they could still disseminate the material. So I think it's going to be a private or deleting it type situation.
Tybo said that they're talking about adding 20 more plaintiffs. That's
Yeah, I
fucking
heard
insane.
that.
So does that mean Nonsense made a great point on her live the other night? Does that mean she can, hit him up and be a plaintiff because of
You
all
could.
the, all the foul shit Brittany and team have done with her? Could I call up and be a plaintiff just because Queen Bee was mentioned? That's so fucking ignorant. And that's why Brittany J shouldn't even be on this.
But I
Well,
also think
Nonsense
along
couldn't be a plaintiff and have like an argument with another plaintiff on the injunction. But
yeah.
she could, if she had a disagreement with like Barbecue Lady, she could be added as a plaintiff to have a disagreement with Barbecue Lady.
And that's the reason why at the end of his video, Nick does say, if you've been doxxed by these people, if you've been harassed by these people or cyber stalked, please reach out to us, because they do want to get more people playing it, which is where, to me, where the baiting comes in, right? If you are named, if they mention you, say anything about you, they are baiting you because they want to add you as a defendant, or they need more proof against you as a defendant. So why give it to them?
I agree.
That is where the bait comes in 100%. Yeah, no.
If the video is taken off this platform and placed elsewhere, what is the opinion? The opinion, based on the verbiage that they use in the injunction, they covered
be
multiple,
anywhere.
like all social media platforms. They said from any public or private social media platforms, websites, or other forms of media. So they're including that as well.
And I do want to touch on, I've heard some rumblings about, and they're trying to get us to shut our subs up too. Well, I mean, legit, subs are a huge part of the problem sometimes.
The
Like,
bone collectors.
huh?
But
the bone collectors, they take a bone
The
from
bone,
one
yeah,
chat
the
to
bone
the next.
collectors,
And
yeah.
They are, but again, it's not that a sub can't now give their opinion when they're watching a video of somebody. That's not what's saying. But the people in the chat who are like, he kidnapped his own child. He's a pedophile. That guy over there is a pedophile because he showed his dangle on the screen to everybody, and kids could have been watching, like the shit like that. That's not just giving your opinion on something. That's absolutely going into a land of no return.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe you got to think about, hey, I like this creator. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this stuff in their chat. And when I point a finger, I got 3 pointed right back at me. So it's something for me to
Same.
think about as
Yeah,
well.
we all fuck up in that way.
If it could have implications on them moving forward. I think we're entering a new phase in social media. It's gone past not being able to. It can't. I don't think it's going. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. I don't think it's going to remain the wild, wild west out here, because I do think some actions are going to start having stronger consequences than just the free for alls that are allowed currently. And I think that is just the bigger corporations needing to cover their butts as well. So
Yeah,
I don't
see,
know if
I
that's
don't
coming
think that it's
anytime
gonna
soon, but I think
go.
it's heading that direction. Not
Yeah,
not
I
because of
actually,
this. Not because of this.
yeah, this is for me. If they do end up being approved by the judge for this particular action in Pennsylvania, I think you're going to see a whole can of worms opened across the
I do
country.
too.
And I think if any other one, whether it be Pennsylvania or any other state, if those get approved, I think you're going to see people who absolutely will then feel emboldened to continue what may be problematic behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And that is really going to suck, because ultimately there is not a there's if it's the parents fighting, I'm all for it. Everybody else who jumps in, like, I'm not for that.
That's
No,
where I am.
me either. And
I would
agree.
stand behind this 1,000% if it was just Tony. Like, I would be out here possibly, I shouldn't say it that way. Depending on what the claims were, I would advocate for it just as much as I did what Chris and Katie did for against Bullhorn Betty.
Well, see,
But
The
it got nutty.
problem with the Proudfoots being defendants in this, or I don't know, the accused. I
They're
don't
not
know what you would call
defendants.
They're
them.
not
Yeah, they're
defendants.
not
What would you
defendants.
call them? They
They're
They
say
were just
that.
listed. They were just
Okay,
commented
because
on.
Seth said that they are the leaders of this enterprise.
He
That's
accused them of that, and actually,
yeah,
they have some claims against him based on some of the stuff he's accused them of in this injunction.
yeah.
In
That's
my
what. That's
opinion.
exactly what I was getting to. Deets is
Mhm.
if Seth was to try to go for just the Proudfoots without all these extra, added in aspects, then he would get nowhere because they have been shut
Yeah.
down. They have been quiet. They could actually
Yeah.
reverse that shit on him. So
And it's wild hearing some people, like, allege that that is now a sign of their guilt that they went silent. It's like, dang, these people cannot win. They are
they
damned if they
can't.
do and damned if they don't with y'all.
I wish, you know
Mhm.
what? I wish that all of them would just stop fucking with YouTubers and
Focus.
social media, period.
Yep.
Focus on
But
Sebastian, focus on coming back to a peaceful place between them and do what they need to do. They need to leave all this other bullshit to the side because as much as we want to fuss about Seth having these close interactions with YouTube creators, so do Chris and Katie. I mean, it's just not as public. But Chris and Katie talked to Granny in the background, Clue. I think they've probably emailed with
That's
Queen, if
true.
I'm not mistaken. Barbecue Lady just had Chris on her not her panel, her friend's panel the other night. It's like, so just stop. Y'all, I mean, I think everybody needs to stop.
I agree.
It's gotten too far, and it's only going to get worse if it keeps going.
Listen, what can you do to protect yourself? Step back from it for a minute.
Yeah.
Absolutely step back from it for a minute. But I know Truth was, like, making jokes in here earlier about, "Hey, Christmas is coming, December 25th." It absolutely is, and I'm not saying to not donate to any of these GoFundMe, support whoever y'all wanna support, it's your money, not mine, I'm not in control of it, but be careful with your money out there, just be careful. Keep your eyes and ears open and pay attention, and be careful with any creator that you're giving money to, including Jonesin, including me, including Nanya, like, just be
Well, I
careful.
don't grift for a fucking dime because I don't need it. This
Right.
isn't my income. But please, it's Christmas is coming up. I'm not saying don't support your creator, support them, but keep you in mind above all.
Can I give a PSA?
Absolutely.
PSA, in case you're listening, there are also thousands of other missing children out there right now that could provide you content that you could go over so that you could take the time to give it a rest on this particular case. Just putting that out there in case they didn't know.
Hell, they're still missing people from the hurricanes, Nunya.
I know. And there's so much to learn about true crime and completely, there's just so many other high profile cases to learn stuff from too. This is gonna sound crass and sorry, but it's like a lot of people need to stop milking this,
Yeah. And
because it's gonna end up
that's both
hurting
that's both
everyone.
sides. That's
Yeah,
I hate to say
everyone.
it. I really do. I hate saying sides, but they have created sides, and it's both sides. Uh, just need to just stop milking it. Stop causing more chaos around it so that you can milk it. Like it's just too much. It's just too much. Just stop. I know, Miss Leah. There's a lot of hurting families right now. I don't.
I do I don't just me, I agree with you to an extent. I do think it is wise for us to share their names and information that is out there and, continue spreading their faces and their stories, but there's a line that, like, no, we have to be cognitive of the fact that more than likely, we are not gonna have anything
Oh, I don't think I help
positive
anything.
to really add to the case. Like, we listened to all of Leilani's trial. You know how much of the YouTubers were mentioned? One time, and that was in her last interrogation when the FBI agent said, "I wasn't aware," or, like, "I had no idea about this YouTube chaos, basically, is what she was saying.
And
That's
she
the
also
only
mentioned
time
putting them
anyone
in a
was mentioned.
hotel because of it, right? Didn't she say
Right.
something about that's why that was the
No.
reason for the hotel, right?
That was no,
The
because the hotel came
the
before the
excuse.
YouTubers were there. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it was before the YouTubers were there. The hotel came on uh, the night of
Oh,
the
that's
9th,
right.
so they weren't even
Yeah.
there yet.
Betty didn't go down till the 12th. That's right.
Correct. But, yeah, they were mentioned one time, and it had nothing positive to do with the case. It was just an FBI agent offhandedly saying, like, I wasn't aware that all this is out there for social media." So, no, I don't think that we are gonna add, uh, much investigative skills to the case, and how much more can we parse from their words? Like, what are y'all trying to find? Like, the people that cover the case daily still, like, what do you think you're gonna pick out from those
Uh,
interviews and all that content? Like, what do you really think is gonna be deduced from that?
Justin has went over and Brittany J too. They go over these, and that's one thing I can say for the Proudfoot side is they don't keep rehashing these interviews. But Justin and Brittany J and the E's, Mr. and Miss C, they
I don't
and
even know who
they
the E's are.
they just constantly replay the interviews. What are you looking for, bro? You're not an investigator. Leave it to them and move on.
Mhm.
But they get the views and they get the money, and that's what keeps them here. Kate the Great said, and you know what's so bad about that? Saying that Justin don't even need the money. So what the fuck is you doing? Anyways, Kate the Great says, I think creators, and this is what I think we were all talking about. I don't, was it in our private convo or was it in the voice chat? We were talking about this the other day. Kate said, I think creators that rely on YouTube as their primary source of income are afraid to change the subject or cover anyone else because of how it may affect their views. Well, that's exactly why these YouTubers are fighting back against at night right now. To me, also, the pressure that these YouTubers feel when, and this is what we were discussing the other night. Can you imagine the pressure these YouTubers go through when this is their sole income? They have to, they're gonna act out of pocket. They're gonna do what they need to do to keep that flow of money. And that has to be chaotic, stressful. I would explode.
Mhm.
Like all the shit. Look, think about Brittany J.
That's what I was asking Nanya or Joneson. I did it again. That's what I was asking Jones. I'm
Bitch.
like, how did some of these creators have time? Like, no, I don't have kids at home, and some of these do. This isn't me talking about their kids. This is me talking about like uh time and responsibility. Like, I don't understand how a person with, you know, kids at home and all those responsibilities and your day-to-day life and duties and trying to keep up with those things, like I couldn't find time to go live as and cover all that 24/7 the way some creators do, and I don't even have that aspect of it. Like, do they not, like, where's the time for your, personal relationships, your real life relationships, your connectivity to people? Like, it just feels
They're
like a
not
lot are
able to
putting
they're not
solely
able to do
investing all
that.
their time on this platform and these parasocial relationships, and I often wonder, like, how do we, and I'm not wondering this about anyone specifically, I often wonder, like, what does your family think about that? Are they miss you? Do they wanna know what you're doing all this time
And
online? It's just crazy to think about.
just for complete transparency, we were discussing me, not
Yes.
that,
Yes, we
yeah,
were discussing Joseph, but I didn't
we
wanna
were
put that out there.
discussing me. I'm okay with you saying that. We were discussing me and how
Mhm.
I'm struggling to figure out the balance.
Yep.
Um, and that's why I don't go live, but maybe once or twice a week. And you know, sometimes you'll get a live like this, and other times you'll just get a live of me talking shit because I just I refuse to hover on one thing. I have been in all the trials for what? Okay, before the trials, I was in Maddie. There ain't been no new
Mhm.
information coming out from Maddie. Listen, distract your mind with other things.
You
It's
did Wade
okay.
stuff, you got back into
Yeah.
Leilani stuff, like, bouncing around, but the conversation we were having with Joneson is basically, you know, that YouTube real life balance and achieving it and then maintaining relationships in your real life as well as the ones on here, and it did just make me think, like, how do a lot of these other ones that are live
Mhm.
24/7 able to do that?
And that's what got us on to that conversation, because it's like you imagine the pressure, you
Oh,
know?
so much pressure.
And to go live for nothing more than drama and rely on that for income is crazy. Well, that's where the manufactured drama comes in. That's
Mhm.
where
And
it's
it's
like, we ain't
that's
got nothing to bitch about, so let's make something to bitch about, you know?
and if this is your if it's your sole income, if it's an income stream, you absolutely need to cover yourself with an LLC, and that doesn't because you're self-employed through YouTube.
Mhm.
So that's what that coverage and protection is just gonna add a little extra layer, and it's not that much, and it's not that hard to do.
And I
But
advise people to look into LLCs.
Can
Absolutely.
I interrupt for a second?
Fuck no.
It appears
no,
that
you're
baby
only the president.
I know. Baby Wanderer is here. So
Okay.
congratulations to Wanderer. So excited
Yes.
for your family.
Oh,
Yay.
nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
She was in the, Leilani stream this morning saying that
Oh,
she was
was
sitting in the
she?
waiting room. Yep. Congrats, baby grandbaby wanderer.
Oh, man. Is this your first grandbaby, Wanderer?
Don't think it was, but I
It
could be
changes
wrong.
your life from what I've
It
heard.
does, it does.
Like,
I
it's a
don't like,
totally different love.
I never thought that I could love anything more than my kids until Crew was here, and then I was
That
so like, it's amazing.
that cracked me up because Johnson was like, it changes my life. And I was thinking, as if she's a grandma. And then she's like, from
No.
what I've heard.
No, my mom tells me all the time it's like a totally different love.
It
It
is.
it enhances your life so much.
There's so many statistics out there on, you know, like, grandparents being actively involved in their, grandchildren's lives about extending their, uh, longevity and all this stuff, and it truly is the best thing, like and they're just, like, always on your mind. Anytime I drive the main road that to go from our house to anywhere basically goes past their house, I don't care, I'll pop in there, it's like, "Okay, I'm only here to get snuggles and kisses." I'm in and out if I have to be, but it's just so hard to just, like I can't drive past that road and know my grandbaby's down it. I didn't get a hug or a sloppy kiss, like, it's the best.
Congratulations, Wanderer.
I know, we're so happy for you, Wanderer.
So good night, Steph B. Thanks for being here, love,
Night,
and thank you for
Steph.
your support. So final thoughts, because I gotta wrap up too, because I got work in the morning. So
Same, I'm
final
tired.
thoughts.
So, let me go over our notes real quick. Savage did not use the Proud Boy symbol. She was showing the size of a hornet. Um, Hitler was a bad comparison, but it had nothing to do with race. Um, we have we did grant the drone, but we are not permitting the trailer. That's on you, Grain. That's on you. Um, let me see what else we got. Christmas is December 25th. I'm not sure if y'all are aware. It is December 25th every year.
Take care of
Uh,
yourself before you take care of these
and
creators.
take care of your family before you take care of these creators.
Mhm.
Make sure you have all the things that you planned out for all that before you know, take care of others. Um, the HOA is international jurisdiction. It's an international jurisdiction, so Pearl cannot escape us. And
The
I
Mountain
had another
Dolphin
one.
mailbox was approved.
The mailbox was approved. Streaking is allowed. Chico can bogart her blunts.
Do y'all see this?
All that.
What? No, I can't see what that says.
Rico Act. He's the leader of the Turtle Gang. Is YouTube safe with him on the street?
Rico tries to
Rico Act
take
tries to
down.
take down Turtle
Oh my
Gang.
God! You're not even. Just a defendant. I can't.
Bro, do better. I
Who
try
who
not to
is
shit
that?
on you anymore. Do better.
He's the
Look,
leader of the. Oh, so he's claiming. What? Who is that with the
Yeah,
hat on?
that's
it's
Dolly. He
Dolly.
put his face on a businessman.
I
Oh my.
can't. The
What?
RICO Act
There
tries to
is an
take down
exemption
the
for trice
turtle
dead
gang. I
people.
cannot. Again, now he'll be the person crying when it gets hit and
Uh-huh.
he becomes a defendant. He'd be like, y'all, I didn't even do anything. We got to protect my freedom of speech." Okay.
You think,
Jesus.
and those, listen, I don't even care. Like, if you're donating to that, do that, it's your money. But if you think you're going to get a dime back when this doesn't go down, you got another thing coming. That ain't happening.
I was
Oh,
coming here. Oh,
there was
sorry.
another thing in the HOA minutes. Generally, Jenny said I had the prettiest horse, so I wrote that in the minutes just because it was amazing
Oh,
and
you
true.
little conceited whore.
Oh God.
What's your final thoughts, Nunya?
My final thoughts is it's not too hard to talk and still be able to shut the fuck up. Words
Period.
matter. Words definitely matter. And don't expect me to feel bad for your family or your situation if you continue in the same pattern of behaviors that the people you call out do.
Don't become the thing you hate.
And
Yeah.
my final thought is pretty simple. Just take a moment, reflect, and realize that maybe you are part of the problem, and just do better. Just do better. That's all.
My final thoughts also addresses May's comment that Seth has been the one telling Sebastian's story. So to tell his story, you're going to review Seth's words and many contradictions that he has made to Sebastian's story. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with playing what he has said and even pointing out a contradiction. What happens though is the commentary that is added and compounded on top of that. That is what turns things into accusations and not just reviewing what
Sorry.
he has said. It goes a little bit farther. And then I also put in the minutes, MJ said, people lie. And I stand on that too. These people lie to
Two
you.
things I would like to add to the potential next meeting, and then one JP for spreading false information without actually watching the stream herself. She was fined by chasing $14.99, so she does
Yeah,
owe
I
those
wanted to
fees to
show that
the
really quick
HOA,
so
which
that
we
it
don't
just
really expect money from her, just for the record, so nobody's like they're trying to charge her for being in the chat.
I wanted to show that really quick before we end so that it can just be nipped in the bud. I don't
It ain't gonna
so
be nipped in the bud. Nothing gets nipped in the bud around here. Ever.
okay, look, here we go.
Big old yellow jacket, hornet looking things. Do y'all know one flew up here? And I was on the phone with Joe yesterday, and he was like, you need to go on and kill that because that's painful. And if it stings Bubba Tip over there, we might have a problem. Hey, Axelot, private eyes. So I stomped that bitch out. Guess who I thought of when I was doing it?
Shade.
I stomped her ass right on out here on this concrete. I sure did. I probably
Oh my
couldn't find it because I was out there in the grass with the fly swatter. Cute Timmy. Hey, summer. No, I'm gonna look for it. Hold on a minute. This fly swatter.
She's gonna come back in just a second and show because she couldn't find it.
It's in the grass. It was big as a 50-cent piece. It was. That thing was like that big around, for real. Straight up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Real, that thing was big as a 50-cent piece. It was. That thing was like that big.
God.
Well, they thought they had.
Straight
Boy. And
No.
YouTube, if you don't put your own thumbnail on your live, it will pick any
It
image from
just
throughout
picks
the live
something.
and hers
Yeah.
picked that, and they were like, "Oh my God, she's doing the white power. Let's go get her, guys."
Yeah,
God
because
damn.
somebody's YouTube, I'm not gonna say who, picked a image for their thumbnail, and it gave me a jump scare. It gave me a jump scare. So YouTube will just pick a random image
Yeah, they
when you
will.
stream in the format that like her and Tracy streams in that format and a couple others.
Oh
If you don't
yeah.
put a thumbnail, it'll grab one.
Bless their hearts, boy. They tried it. Y'all tried it. Good job.
What do
Like,
you
good
think?
try.
And
But
listen,
man,
us embracing and laughing at the whole like HOA claims and moral authority and hall monitor claims are just that, like embracing and laughing at the things that you're trying to attack us and put us down with, like we somehow think we're better than anyone else. Because if you know any of us, we don't think that at all. But
Mm-mm.
my question is, if I was to pick something that I think is demeaning and say it back, I think it's gonna be perceived quite differently. So
oh, one thought. If you listen,
I'll say it.
we know Jones, and we know that's why you have a handler. That's
or 2
exactly
or 3.
why.
If I was calling y'all felons and criminals,
Mhm. Yeah, drugsters
y'all
or
wouldn't be
things like that,
embracing
you
it and
wouldn't
having
like it too
fun.
much, would you?
Yeah.
So, you come at us for, "Oh my god, you're going real life. Oh my god, you think you're blah, blah, blah," like, well, the same shit you're still coming at us for. So there's that.
Yeah, bless their hearts. Bless their heart. Like that's what happens when you just want to hate somebody. Like I'm no fan of Savage. I'm pretty vocal about that. I don't like
I don't
her
think she has any
and
lost
her
love there,
ways.
does she?
I don't think she has lost an ounce of sleep from me not liking her. It's totally fine. But like when you have so much hate for a person that you will make square pieces fit into your circle spots
Yeah, we
on
put a new
purpose
low.
just because you really
Or
hate that person, like you've completely lost the plot and probably should log off, touch grass, like
or
touch
if
something at this point.
you don't even know why
A
you hate
neighbor
that
first.
person. Like I have heard so many people claim, "Oh, because of all the old shit they did in this situation." It's like, wait, you don't even know what that situation was. How are you gonna hate me over something you know fuck all about? I mean, I
Well,
don't
not
know
only
you.
that,
How am
then
I
we're
gonna hate
like,
you when I don't know you?
yeah, but and then Joneson does say Joneson earlier was like, no, she was showing the Hornet. Thank God Joneson actually watched it because we'd be like, whoa, hold on, what's
Yeah.
this? And I get that.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, I didn't even watch it. I guess I should have watched it. I guess so.
Oh, did she? Is that what she said?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm at least glad she said that. I guess I should have
Yeah,
watched
she
it.
owned it.
I
Yeah, she
appreciate
owned
that.
that part. Yeah, for sure. I'll give her credit for that for sure. But
Well, I'm glad we
oh,
were
But
able
then
to
I know
nip that in the bud.
they want to make the argument that like Maniacs was a personal beef. It very well could be, but that's not something that like I feel like I have to answer for. That's something that she has to answer for. If the question of do you think this is going real life? Do you think that this is too far? Like those things, yeah, I'll give my opinion on that. I don't know what her personal beefs are with people.
Mm-mm.
I don't like that with her to know that. So I just felt like that went a little too deep on that. On the
Yeah,
okay too.
I
well, it's
agree.
been an amazing HOA meeting. I can't wait for the next one.
It'll be
For
another
all
2
of you
weeks, bitch.
sanctimonious
It'll be a
fucks to
hot
come
minute.
on over
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute.
and share your opinions.
I ain't fucking with all this shit. I'm over it. I say that,
Oh,
and then the next HOA meeting.
also,
I also
just as a side note, if somebody accuses you of having morals, remind yourself that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's
no,
not. Don't let nobody do that to you.
no.
It's good to have morals and to stand on your beliefs.
I also want to thank all the HOA members that keep us in the know because there's no way we're keeping track of it. So I really appreciate all the comments and being like, "Oh, this is here, this is that." Appreciate that hardcore. Um, I request that we adjourn this meeting.
It's
All in
adjourned.
favor?
Meeting
Say
is
aye.
adjourned.
Aye.
I.
Love, love.
Bye.
Nose, ears, mouth. Oh my
Damn, she
goodness.
says she's out. Well,
She
I'm gonna hop
did.
too.
Yeah,
Good
she's
night,
ready for
everyone.
bed. Good night, Thunya Nunya. Y'all hang tight because we've got another song for y'all at the end that AMAC made for us. my last final thought is to just remind creators that are dealing with this Rico Suave, like really take the time and think about it and ask yourself, what exactly am I fighting this for? Am I fighting this so that I can cover Sebastian? No, because you can still cover Sebastian if you want to right now, this minute, this second. So that should answer what you're fighting for is the capability to continue the drama around his case. And that's not okay for him either. So think about that. Think on it. Think on it, guys. Think on it. All right. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate all the love and support and the open conversations. I enjoy chats like this where we can all think differently and stay as respectful as possible. I appreciate that. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. I'm going to cut this song on for y'all real quick, okay? AMAC made this for us. All right, you ready? On your mark. Bye.
With the HOA, we're riding in on our high horses where we always win. We got the rules, yeah, we know what's right. Bringing the order to your comment fight. Moral compass with a North Star. Every little drama, we're never too far. Righteous, mighty, never wrong. HOA coming strong. HOA, we're here to stay. Saddle up, yeah, we're leading the way. We're the judges, the jury, the saints of the scene, keeping YouTube squeaky clean. HOA, we're on patrol, riding it high with hearts of gold. Got the verdict, better take a seat. When we arrive, your case is beat. No comment safe from my holy glance. Don't slip up, we'll give you no chance. We got the tea and we're pouring it hot, but we're the law, so don't get caught. Holier than thou, yeah, that's our game. All the creators know our name. Setting the standards, calling the shots. Like it or not, we're your watchdogs. HOA, we're here to stay. Saddled up, yeah, we're leading the way. We're the judges, the jury, the saints of the scene, keeping YouTube squeaky clean. HOA, we're on patrol, riding it high with hearts of gold. Got the verdict, better take a seat. When we arrive, your case is beat. We're holy, you're wiser, and oh so grand. With rules and virtues we understand. Don't test the code, we hold the key. We are the HOA, the authority. HOA, we're here to stay. Saddled up, yeah, we're leading the way. We're the judges, the jury, the saints of the scene, keeping YouTube squeaky clean. HOA, we're on patrol, riding it high with hearts of gold. Got the verdict, better take a seat. When we arrive, your case is beat. HOA, we ride or die on our high horses, reaching for the sky.